All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena with Stu Little, the one and only, the YouTube
What's
superstar.
happening,
Go ahead, Stu.
What do you guys want from me? I'm hearing through the grapevine, King Butcher,
Yeah.
that a lot of guys are saying I was bigging Dillian Whyte up and and all this sort of stuff. Go back and listen to the show. I told you everything that was wrong with Dillian Whyte. I said Povetkin to win would have to get it done early. And I was right. The guy was close to being pulled out.
Yeah.
So look, what do you guys want from me, man? Look,
yeah that's what I told him.
I've never sat here once and said that Dillian Whyte was a world-class fighter.
Yeah.
Not once. If you go back and listen to the video, I told you he's got so many flaws. His footwork, his lazy jab, always falling short, his balance. I've told you all these things, but I said that this would be a good fight because they're both as slow as each other. And that happened to be the case, And look, I said Povetkin, Dillian Whyte had his. I said to you, you take your eye off Povetkin, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Dillian Whyte was looking at other options, moaning on social media, took his eye off former world champion, Olympic gold medalist, and a very dangerous customer. The problem with Povetkin is once he gets past into the latter rounds, his tank empties these days, and he's there for the taking. Dillian Whyte was winning that fight. Povetkin was close to being pulled out of there, but Povetkin, world-class operator that he is, managed to pull that world-class uppercut and the rest of the city. It reminded me a bit like when Eubank was getting the brakes beaten off him against Michael Watson, and he just got up from being knocked down, and he just landed the uppercut from hell, if you want to call it, not from the gods. You know what I mean? Because what he'd done, but it reminded me like that, where Povetkin was getting beat up, just getting knocked down, and he just pulled out a world-class shot, a bit like Marquez and Pacquiao as well. It's just world-class operators. They've got it in them to land a world-class shot, time it right, land on the button. The rest is
but see, Stu, you're not making excuses, and you're calling this shot a world-class shot. Now, apparently, Johnny Nelson, I don't know if it's true, but a lot of people were saying this in the chat yesterday. Johnny Nelson said that it was a lucky punch.
Mate, there was nothing lucky about that shot. Go and watch it. Go and watch the shot, man. The way he fucking come underneath Dillian Whyte's guard and fucking landed that uppercut. That was a world-class shot.
Mm-hmm.
And look what it did to Dillian Whyte, man. Fucks. I mean, that was a sleeper. But let's...
Ah, shit. We lost Stu. Sorry. I'm trying to add more people in here. Hold on. Let me get Stu. Stu's supposed to be the star of the show here. Yeah, we're gonna get Stu back, but yeah, people, man, I don't know. You guys are fucking crazy. Some of you. I don't think you're listening to the show. Sorry, Stu. I had to create another group to invite people, but go ahead.
You there, Butch?
Yeah. Go ahead. You're back.
Yeah, I was just saying, like I said, there's nothing lucky about that shot. I mean, it was executed perfectly. It was a tremendous shot. I mean, look, that's what makes world-class fighters, when they can be in deep waters and then they can pull out a shot like that to rescue them. And like I said, Marquez did it against Pacquiao. Dillian Whyte did it against Chisora. Them sort of shots. And Povetkin's a fucking... He's an old man. You don't lose your experience and your skills. You just lose your tank and your punch resistance and stuff like that. And I think, like I said, Povetkin was a round or two from being pulled out of there. So that's where I am. I don't know why people think that I was talking about Dillian Whyte like he was a world beater. I just said he deserved his shot, which everyone agreed with me. But I told you the flaws. Go back and listen.
Yeah, that's right. Stu, are you there? Sorry, Stu. Gonzalo.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, did you think that Povetkin's punch was a lucky punch? Because that's apparently what Johnny Nelson said.
No, there's nothing lucky about that. It's
All
all
right.
experience, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it, man. And what do you think about people?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear Stu say that, or did you ever hear Stu hype up Dylan White?
No, basically what he's repeating now, talking about his balance not all there, his flaws. I mean, he's definitely got good qualities as well. He wouldn't be in this type of fight if he wouldn't. I mean, he's definitely a good fighter too, you know.
Yeah, of course, Gonzalo. Look, he was winning that fight comfortably against Povetkin. All right, Povetkin's past his best, but he's still a world-class operator. My problem with Povetkin, and I said it, and I was right, is that you get him into the latter rounds, the tank empties, and he's there for the taking. And that's what I said. I said Povetkin to win this fight, to do it early by stoppage. And I was right. What do you guys want from me?
I don't know. This is weird because it just doesn't make sense. Some people are creating their own reality, right? They're imagining stuff. They just to hate. They start saying, "Oh, BDA said this, Bucho said this, Stu said that." We never like, guys. You need to like listen to the shows. You can't just
The thing
fucking
is,
disappear for a month.
People hear what they want to fucking hear. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I mean, look, I like Dylan White. I still like Dylan White because guess what? I'm a loyal supporter. I'm not like the Americans where you get a bad stoppage and the fans just disappear. I mean, I stick by my boys. I still back Dylan White. And I told you though, Butcho, I said Dylan White has got his eye off this fight, and it's the worst thing he could have done because Povetkin is still a dangerous customer. And Dylan White was talking about Joshua, Fury, Wilder, everyone but Povetkin. It cost him.
So you think he was overconfident because he did come in shape, though?
Listen,
we've seen him
there's
fat.
no excuses. He came in shape. No, he came in shape. He was winning the fight. There's no excuses here. The fact is, my problem with Dylan White is he had a very dangerous customer in front of him, but he was more interested about talking about Joshua and Fury and moaning on the internet. I mean, be real. When you got Povetkin in front of you, you got to take this guy very serious, or you get slept like he did. And that's what happened. I told you, mate.
Hey, and look, to be honest, the light shines brighter and it's more established. I mean, you get a clear picture of the flaws that White has, his limitations. Maybe it wasn't as clear to some people before. Even like to me, I would say now I could really say that yeah, he lacks punch resistance and some other things that now are much clearer. That's a fact.
Look, mate, that if that uppercut landed on Deontay Wilder, he'd have been asleep as well. Joshua asleep. You know, look, but Dillian White has got too many flaws for him to mix with the big boys. Let's just say that. I just don't. I mean, he has a chance against Wilder because with that one, both as bad as each other when it comes to boxing skills. So it's whoever lands first. But put him in with Fury. Joshua would beat him up again. Fury would do the same. And like I said earlier, well, no, what was it? A few days ago when I said Daniel Dubois would be a terrible fight for him. Why would he take that? Daniel Dubois does that to him as well. I think he's just too limited. He's all right when he's got flat-footed old guys. I know Povetkin's old, but Povetkin's still crafty. He's got an Olympic gold medal on his neck, sort of thing. So he knows how to box a little bit, and he's a crafty customer. Dillian White's, like I said, learning on the job. He took his eye off Povetkin, looking ahead, thinking that the Fury fight was there for him. The Joshua, no, mate, you're well behind it. And what do I say about the WBC? You think they're going to keep his number one mandatory position? God, I mean,
No, well,
he's back of the queue again.
In the chat, Monster A saying Stu White wants a rematch, and it's true. Apparently, they're looking for a rematch in December.
That's the only thing you can do, mate. Because look, what did I say to you the other day? I said, if you can't beat this 40-year-old Alexander Povetkin, forget the big boys.
It's true though. It's true. I mean, but by the way, what do you guys think? Well, I already asked this to Gonzalo yesterday or the day before. People who say I feel bad for what happened to Dylan Whyte because he waited 1,000 days to get a title shot. He never got it, and now he lost. Stu, do you feel bad for the guy?
A little bit. I mean, like I said, big fan of Dillian Whyte because he puts it on the line. All you can ask from a fighter is for him to go in there and put it all on the line, and most of the time he does. Look, he's had a rough ride. Boxing's not treated Dillian Whyte with any sort of respect, and it just shows you what a scummy sport boxing is. Look, disgraceful how they've treated him. But at the end of the day, I saw this coming. You know, it's the WBC were just waiting for this guy to get knocked out. And with Dillian Whyte, like I said before, because he's so flawed, a fight like that, it's not going to go a whole career without getting
Right, so
beat or knocked out.
that's what happens when you wait too long, right? Basically, I mean, especially in the heavy division, at some point you're gonna get caught. Doesn't matter who you are, you're gonna get caught at some point, unless you're Tyson Fury.
But this is heavyweight boxing, mate. Like I said, this is heavyweight boxing. You're gonna get caught with a shot, and that's in your career. Like you're gonna get caught with it. I mean, let's be real. Tyson Fury is a fucking very crafty, slick customer. Got put on his ass by Cunningham and nearly fucking killed by Wilder. So even the best of them get caught with shots in the heavy, you know. But Dillian Whyte, like I said, I always saw this coming. Just too flawed, you know. You can't fight like he does and avoid being knocked out eventually. Just not going to happen.
Guys, we have a phone call. Let's take it. Five. Whoever's calling from outside Canada or in the USA, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? How you guys doing? You guys having a good day?
Yes, sir. What about you?
Yeah, very good. Good to hear Stuart Little back on. I remember him from the boxing voice days. Good to hear his voice again.
Thank you, my friend. Good to be on here. Like I said, I've been on this show for a few years, but I've just been having a break recently. I've not a lot of boxing to talk about, but obviously there was a big fight at the weekend. What you got to say about it?
Well, I called in the other day after the show. I thought it was a good fight, and I think as well, one thing I don't want to see in boxing is when a heavyweight takes a loss against another top 10 heavyweight, everybody says he's finished. But I said the same thing when Wilder got done in by Fury. Just because someone takes a loss at a top level doesn't mean they're finished. And I think that's why I think boxing fans are their own worst enemy, because they're going around saying, "Oh, you can't lose," and that's why we get joke fights.
Yeah, I agree. That's why promoters and a lot of fighters are scared to take risks, because it's a career ruiner. It can be a career ruiner, and that's how fickle boxing fans are. You know, you could have one bad loss, and there's a long road back for you. And let's be real, Dillian Whyte, I mean, it was a long road for him when he was winning. So what's it going to be like when he's on the back of a bad KO? I mean, do you think Sullivan's going to be looking to give
100%.
Dillian Whyte a shot anytime soon? He might as well forget the WBC. Go the IBF route, you know. He'll get fed a can and he might win a title, because that's how they work. But no, the WBC's over for him. That dream is over.
I said the same with Wilder as well, because I mean, I'm not a big Wilder fan. I thought his heavyweight title reign was a joke, but he takes one loss to Fury. Before the Fury fight, he's the baddest man on the planet and all this, and takes a loss to Fury. Everyone says he's finished. And I think all heavyweight boxers in the top 10 should be finishing their career with 5-6 losses. They should all be fighting each other. They should all be taking losses. They should all be coming back, like the 90s heavyweight days.
See, the thing with heavyweight boxing is one shot can change a whole fight. I mean, you'll see it in the lower divisions with the world class guys where they're knocking people out, but it's not as often as in the heavyweight division. You know, it's one way you're fighting 36 minutes. Trying to fight someone for 36 minutes and not make a mistake is a very hard thing to do. You know, like I said, you will get caught eventually. Yeah, you will. But I mean, when you look at monsters like Mike Tyson, who would have thought that Buster Douglas was going to stop that guy? No one on this planet. You know, with the heavyweight division, you could be at the top of your game, dominating a fight, one shot changes it all, and that's why it's the best,
And,
the most prestige title.
yeah, and also talking about losing to 40-plus-year-olds. If Klitschko had a bit more in the tank, he would have done in Joshua at 40-plus. And if they hadn't cheated Ortiz, you remember when he had Wilder hurt and they gave him an extra minute or whatever it was to check if he was all right, make sure he was okay. He would have been stopped by a 40-plus-year-old as well.
Look, Klitschko, I've always said about Klitschko, that's why he retired after that fight, because he had Joshua in all sorts of bother, and he just, when he went into the tank to find that little bit extra to get him out there was nothing there. I mean, he let Joshua come on. Let's take our hats off to Joshua. How he got up from that shot, I'll never know, because a lot of people didn't get up from a shot like that from Klitschko. So you got to give Joshua credit, but a Klitschko a few years younger would have got Joshua out there. That's a fact.
100%. Yeah, couldn't agree. And with Wilder fight, he would have been stopped by Ortiz. And Ortiz was 40 on paper. Ortiz was 42 at the time of that fight, and he got that extra minute to recover after he was in trouble.
I've never seen that before in a boxing ring, where a guy gets hurt and dropped, and then at the start of the at the start of the round, the ref decides to get the doctor in. Why didn't you get the doctor in when he was sitting on his stool?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be real.
Crazy New York. We all
know why.
That doesn't make sense, though. Come on.
Look, boxing's corrupt. That referee was paid.
Yeah.
Just like fucking Bayliss.
It's crazy New York rule that they had just implemented.
In New York, it's fucking backhanders and corrupt referees, mate. That's all it is. I mean, if you could see corruption in that fight,
and also organisations not letting each other fight each other.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I mean, whether you like Whyte or you don't rate Whyte or whatever, his resume on the way to losing this fight to Povetkin, he should have had the Wilder fight years ago. What was the point in fighting Dominic Brazil? What was the point in fighting Spilker? What was all those fights? You think he should have had a chance 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A year ago. Mental.
Yeah. And look, this is why a lot of fighters in the heavyweight division they don't want to take their opportunities, their chances, like Dillian Whyte when he ducked the Joshua fight, because a bad stoppage is going to put you right to the back of the queue, especially in this heavyweight division. You've got Wilder being protected by Heyman. Look how long Dillian Whyte waited to get a shot at him. Fury's, let's be real, he's in negotiations with Joshua and Wilder, and Dillian Whyte's well at the back of the queue on that one. So,
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, it's mental.
Hey.
Yeah,
you know what? Wilder cannot get no credit, because right now maybe they're chopping at the bit, seeing how this guy was beatable. But a few years ago, when he was beating these guys after that TKO to Anthony Joshua, he beat 11 guys, and he got a good resume on the way to do that. I mean, they were saying it then, so why are they going to say it now?
Look, I've always said about Dillian Whyte, very limited in skills, and has done very well at boxing and has got the best out of his ability. He has made his himself a pay-per-view star. He's made millions of pounds doing it, and this is as far Dillian Whyte goes for me. It's just too limited. You have to have something about you when it comes to boxing skills. That's why Wilder got found out eventually. You think he was ever going to go all these years without getting stopped with them limited skills? No, mate.
But I would have to say I agree. But with all those limitations, he was still beating guys like Derek Chisora, Joseph Parker, Marcus Watts, Oscar Rivas, Helenius, and those sort of guys. Now the guy's 32.
Let's go through
he had this
that
guy on the canvas 2 times, and he got knocked out with 1 punch. He's got a whole career ahead of him.
Look at the big picture, Gonzalo. Helenius, dreadful fight, really was.
Well, he came back won a fight. He made
Helenius. He made Helenius look like a fucking prime Cassius Clay in there. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, Derek Chisora getting his ass whooped in that fight until he landed that big shot. I mean, who else? Rivas, very close fight.
Parker knocked him out with the headbutt.
Parker seconds away from being stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all like, none of them are devastating. Probably the Chisora second fight was devastating KO, but let's be real. Let's not forget what happened before the KO. I mean, he's never gone in there and steamrolled through someone easy. It's always been a fucking hard night's work for him. And when you get to the top level, these guys have got a bit more about them than the Rivas and Chisora and all them. And
The
you're saying
signs
this
were
was
there.
supposed
I
to happen,
agree.
so
the left hook, the left hook is something that will knock you out.
He's fucking done. Fuck Whyte. He's fucking done. I hope Povetkin just retires on a high note. He doesn't need to rematch that fucking kid. He's 40. He's going to be 41 years old in 4 or 5 days here, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, but like
So you got to think, Johnny. He's already gone through this. When he got knocked out by Anthony Joshua, the guy came back and strung together 11 victories. Even though they were hard, like you guys were saying. Oh, yeah, but all of a sudden now it makes sense to everybody that he was overrated.
Look,
I agree.
if I was Povetkin, I'd take the rematch. Mate, millions of dollars for, when you're a fighter, mate, that's all you can do. What's Povetkin going to do? Still, if he's knocking out Dillian Whyte, he's still got something in him about him, still something in the tank. So why not take the rematch and probably get a couple of million to knock him out again? I mean, I'd take it. I encourage fighters to always retire on the back of a bad knockout or a bad performance. I don't encourage fighters to retire when they're winning. Let's be real. I mean, that's why Pacquiao. I'm happy for Pacquiao to stick fighting. If he's beating Keith Thurman when he's fucking well past his best, good on the guy.
That's true too.
guys, we got a phone call. Guys, 773 on the air. 773.
God.
Bucho, Gonzalo, BD8. I gotta give you guys a shout out. You're always respectful. You always let people call in, say their piece. You don't disparage them. You're not some boxing snobs who sits there on BoxRec and acts like you're all on your high horse studying amateur fights and this guy was knocked down in the amateurs and blah blah blah. Come in, you let them say their piece. You're respectful. So I'm gonna give you guys a super chat. Shout out to you guys. Take it easy.
All right, that was Kevin from Chicago, and thank you. And I thought Kevin was going to say something controversial.
Yeah,
but
hang on a minute. Someone in the chat just said that Povetkin got $3.5 million for that fight. I mean, great money. And if you're winning in devastating fashion, why stop? You know what I mean? So I expect Povetkin to take that rematch with Dillian Whyte. I really do.
Kevin is a fucking vagina.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck are you talking? He was nice, man.
You're not even from Chicago, Kevin. You're from Midway, you fucking hump.
And if you feel bad for Dillian Whyte, you gotta be happy for Alexander Povetkin because that means he gets possibly another opportunity to fight for a title, right?
Yeah, and make a lot of money as well. I mean, look.
Yeah,
like I said before, what else is he gonna do? He's gonna keep going until someone beats him up badly, and that's what fighters do, mate. I'm afraid.
Because I mean, he was the WBO champion, I believe. WBO, he held the title, but I mean, he's never really been considered like an actual champion, from the three major organizations. No, so for him to become champion when these guys are getting knocked out left and right, I wouldn't put it past that he can do it if he lands a shot comparable to the one he landed, like that one. He'll knock anybody out.
Yeah, Povetkin. He's got so much experience, and that's what gets him through fights. There's times when you're watching him in there and he's getting pieced up, but he always finds a way to get back into the fight, and that's experience and know-how. Very, like I said, very crafty customer. And Dillian Whyte.
So you're making excuses for Dillian Whyte?
I said the same thing, Stu. I was like,
he got a little too comfortable.
There's no excuses at all here. He was winning that fight. It's not like Dillian Whyte went in there, looked fucking sloppy and looked slow and getting pieced up. Like he was winning that fight. He just got caught with a world class.
I'm pretty sure when Stu said that he dropped the eye off the ball. I don't know how you say that, but anyways, I know what he means. Yeah. It's not like it's basically it's a punch that he didn't see coming, but where he dropped the ball. Hold on, Johnny. Let me just finish what I'm saying before you complain about Kevin. Hey, where he dropped the eye off the ball was compared to like what Andy Ruiz, he went for the kill. No, he didn't do that. He stayed composed, but he actually he didn't. You made me lose my train of thought, Johnny. Fuck. Hold on.
Gonzalo,
Fuck you,
I know what
Johnny.
you're trying to say.
Look,
No,
fuck
I know
you.
what- hang on a minute.
He got
now
too comfortable. He got too comfortable in there.
And welcome
I
to
know
my
what
He didn't
Gonzalo
put the
trying to say.
pressure. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
No, I know what you're trying to say, brother. Dillian Whyte, look, for me, Dillian Whyte went in there in good shape. He was prepared. Like I said, he was winning the fight. Did you expect Dillian Whyte to go in there and look like a slickster? Never going to happen. He was the Dillian Whyte that he always is. But he was prepared, in decent shape. He just got caught with a world-class shot. And that's
I think Dillian Whyte's problem was he was more concerned about what the fuck was going on with Tyson Fury than worrying about Povetkin, to be totally honest with you. That's all the man.
I said the same thing. I said the same.
Yeah, Stu.
So if he goes for the kill,
Gonzalo.
Hang on a minute.
One at
Let
a
Johnny
time.
finish. Let Johnny finish.
As long
I'm
as
the
he
host
stops
today.
bitching about fucking Kevin and getting all tough with everybody. You're cool, Johnny.
All right.
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Johnny.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Okay, I was just gonna say. See, speaking of losing trains of thought, Gonzalo. Yeah, fucking. Anyways, Anyway, who am I getting tough with? Kevin's little
Dillian
bitch.
Whyte, Povetkin. Dillian Whyte, Povetkin. We're talking.
Keep it
Yeah.
homie.
Anyways, yeah, I think his whole fucking problem was he was more concerned with what the hell was going on with Tyson Fury, and he was looking past that, crying about his fucking, give me another title shot. He wasn't even thinking about Povetkin, and it caught up with him the other night. That's all.
Mate, 100% correct. I said exactly the same. It's on video. I said exactly the same, mate. I could see this happening. It's not a surprise to me. I don't know what. Oh, Stu, I bet he's crying.
Yeah.
I don't cry. I don't cry about fighters losing, mate. I'm gonna get up in the morning. My life's good. I don't care if a fighter gets knocked out. There's a saying in boxing: if you've never been beat or knocked out, you're not fighting the right people. So Dillian Whyte, he's fighting all comers, and look, he got caught with a big shot. Hopefully, there's a way back for him. I don't really see it. I just don't think he's good enough to beat.
When Joshua dropped Ruiz, dropped Ruiz, and the announcers were saying, "Oh, here he goes. He's gonna knock him out." I mean, okay, yeah. Dillian Whyte didn't do that, but he did the opposite. He didn't step on the gas, and he didn't close the show. He was kind of in the middle, like a city duck.
Dillian Whyte's got something in it. Dillian Whyte, I think he's very one-geared. Dillian Whyte. I don't think he can step up on the go. It's not like his punches don't flow with rhythm. It's just horrible to watch. Let's be real. He's lunging and falling short. His feet are all over the fucking shop. You know, it is what it is. The guy was always going to get caught up to.
Yeah.
I thought Povetkin might be a bit too past it. Where I thought Dillian Whyte had enough about him to take it to the latter rounds, and I think Dillian Whyte would have won if it went to the latter rounds because, like I said before, Povetkin was close to being stopped, but. No excuses with me, mate. That shot from Povetkin, mate.
It was a nice one. That was a nice one.
Stu, when you say that Whyte is never, are you saying he's never going to become a champion? Never going to get a title shot? He's going to become the next Chisora?
In boxing, mate, there's always a way to a title. But right. I just don't think he's ever going to want to beat the top guys. I think Tyson Fury plays with him. I think Joshua knocks him out again. And let's be real, even Wilder stopped Dillian Whyte.
Did you know this before the Povetkin? Did you know
Dillian Whyte would fall short with a shot with Wilder, and he's getting fucking chin checked.
Did you know this before the Povetkin fight, or now did you just change? Did you just change your mind because he got knocked out by Povetkin, or is this something you already knew from before?
If you go back months ago, I said I fancied Wilder to beat Dillian Whyte, but I thought that was one of the fight where they were so evenly matched when it comes to how bad their technique was. I thought it's whoever lands with that shot, and it still could be, But look, Dillian Whyte's got a lot of flaws in it, and he's not working on them. It's not like he's improving every fight. It's they're there for all to see.
I think that maybe the kid, maybe Dillian. I'm not going to clown him anymore. I already did that for 2 days, but I'm not going to clown him anymore. I already got that out of my system. But, that's what happens when you're not focused at the task at hand and you're worried about the hell's going to happen to you in the future. You got to focus on what's in front of your face instead of worrying about what's going to happen 2-3 fights down the line.
Well, that's what Joshua found out the hard way.
Yeah, exactly. Still, exactly.
People, StreamYard's
Boxing's a
open
very
if you want to jump
dangerous
in.
sport, man. In the
Go ahead,
heavyweight
Stu.
division, these guys don't even have to be fit. You saw it, right? I mean, look at Andy Ruiz. But you don't even have to be fit. You just go in there, throw a few bombs in the early rounds, and hope one lands. And if it does land, you can do what Andy Ruiz does. And you know, he was like the heavyweight champion of the world for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
So
He's
you guys
still
are saying
talking
that
about
this
that
division is
victory.
trash, basically. This heavyweight division isn't as good as some people want it to be. Like, it's
You
trash.
can't really say that since this is an old Povetkin, that a younger Povetkin would have ran right through him. Yeah, maybe so. But like fighters, I mean, it's not all triangle theory. They have personalities too. And every fight against a different opponent, it's a different thing on that one particular night.
Hey,
What if
Whyte,
Povetkin
Dillian
doesn't
Whyte
pull the
can't
trigger and doesn't throw that punch at that particular second in that round? Or if fucking Dillian Whyte covers up?
yeah,
It
but
could have
that's
been a
like
total
saying,
outcome. Choose your own adventure. It's like one of those
yeah,
books.
but that's like
You choose
saying,
your own
that's like,
adventure, then you get a different
oh
outcome.
God. Yeah, but that's like saying if Rod Solker had fucking put his fucking guard up when he got sparked by Danny Garcia, he might have lasted another round. It was all its ifs and buts. At the end of the day, right, Dillian Whyte got
But
caught with
he's
a
no
world champ class.
Salka either, man.
Look, I'm not saying he was. I'm just having a joke, but let's be real, right? He fucking slept like Rod Solker, didn't he? So,
Rob
is,
Salka was a small guy fighting a Danny Garcia,
look,
much bigger.
Dillian Whyte, if he can't beat a 40-year-old Povetkin, what do you think a 32, 33-year-old Povetkin would do to Dillian Whyte? Massacre.
I'm just saying, look, if Dillian Whyte wouldn't have stayed too fucking relaxed and comfortable in the pocket, and he would have covered up or been more aggressive or stay outside of his wheelhouse, Povetkin's, and Povetkin didn't land that shot, you never know. Maybe he would have knocked him out. He knocked out Povetkin. He would have won on points, or he still would have got knocked out by Povetkin. It's just one of those things. The punch was an awesome punch. Did that punch look to you like it was from a B-class fighter? When have you ever seen a punch like the one Povetkin threw?
Yeah, but I didn't say that was the case. I said that was a world-class punch from a world-class operator.
I'm not saying to you, Stu. I'm just
my problem with Povetkin was, which I was right, is that if you take him to the latter rounds, he's an old man. The tank's just not there anymore. He falls to pieces. He's there for the taking. But Dillian Whyte, unfortunately, didn't get that far. And that's what I'm saying. That's all it is. Dillian Whyte's still going to be a fight that can give anyone a good fight on his day. But I just think if you can't beat a Povetkin that's like 50% of the man he used to be, then
he was beating him up, though. He was beating his ass.
He was beating him up, but it doesn't matter. It's like when Chelsea won the Champions League against Bayern Munich. They fucking battered us for like 120 minutes. We managed to sneak a fucking draw, went to penalties and nicked the win. That's what it was like. You can dominate for 120 minutes, don't matter. At the end of the day, you've got to.
The other guy can score a goal. The other guy can just score a goal. Doesn't mean that your team's garbage.
Analogy, but that's how. Of course, mate. Boxing is you could be winning every second of every round, and the next minute you're fucking sleeping. Everyone's. It's like when people are saying, "Oh, well, Amir Khan, he won a few rounds against Canelo." No, he didn't. Canelo let him win them rounds. Canelo could have slept Amir Khan the second he wanted to. He was carrying that fight for pay-per-view. And everyone's go, "Oh, Amir Khan was piecing up Canelo." What are you fucking guys watching, man?
I'm confused because some people are saying, "Oh, we always knew Dillian Whyte." I mean, he struggled in some of his fights, right? You mentioned the Joseph Parker fight. He almost lost that. He went into a war with Chisora, so he wasn't really that good. And all of a sudden, oh well, he's really good, but he just got caught with a good punch. So which one is it? And what happens if Dillian Whyte wins in the rematch?
I've never said he's really good ever.
Look,
well, not you. But
he's good. He's good.
That's what you guys are saying.
He was better than what he's showed us. Now he's showing us that he's got, but that comes with the territory. When you fight, you're gonna discover things. But before this fight, nobody was saying that, like as loudly as they're speaking now, that fucking Dillian Whyte was like not that good. Nobody was saying it. Maybe they were thinking it, but now they're saying it like they knew it all along. No,
All right.
we learned with this fight.
Yeah.
Everybody
Top
learned.
three. Top three
hang on a minute.
heavyweight.
Look, I've always spoke about his limited skills, but with heart, grit, determination, a massive left hook. It's took him so far, and he's done very well. And he's a problem for anyone on the day. But look, well, I'm not going to repeat the same stuff. The fact is, it's a long
He
way.
got
Guys,
exposed.
we're going in
He's got a lot of
circles
good
here.
qualities. But to certain styles, he got exposed. That if you were to say, okay, Wilder, like you said against Whyte, yeah, I give Wilder a good chance to knock him out.
Yeah, that uppercut that Povetkin caught him with, bro, that's knocking everybody out. That same shot would have knocked any one of them boys out.
Of course it would. Of course it would. Of course it would.
Yeah, and the thing is this, bro. I don't mean to fucking twist the knife or rub salt in the wound or over here, but I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't happy he got knocked out. I am, bro, because we should be focused on one fucking thing and one thing only.
Yep.
AJ Fury, period, dog.
Yeah.
And any roadblocks that need to be terminated for us to get that fight should be going away, period.
Exactly. So, and just to make this clear, do you guys are saying that we should just brush aside the fact that Dillian Whyte lost because he lost by anybody could have lost if Povetkin would have landed that punch, right? So we should just brush it off.
Dillian Whyte can still make a good living out of boxing, just like Derek Chisora has. And the fact is, you put on a decent show and you give it all. Boxing fans, especially in the UK, will still pay to watch it. No, it's not so much in America. I mean, you'd be on a scrap heap after a fucking loss over there, but you can still make a good living out of boxing. Whether he's going to be a world champion is another matter altogether.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he's not garbage, but I would have to say, honestly, yes, he was exposed. He was exposed in many ways. Now, if you put it together, some trainers and fighters can say, yes, I see something. For sure.
Kenshiro, are you there? Kenshiro. No, hold on. You're muted. Sorry. Give me... Jesus Christ. Gee. All right, go ahead, man. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's good. I want to say, thank God Stu's okay. I thought possibly topped himself, and BDA or Bucho will have to do like a Rocky eulogy from Rocky 4.
Listen, mate. If you know me, I don't let fights get to me. I'm not going to cry because someone gets knocked out. I get up in the morning, see the lovely English countryside. My life's good. Look, it is what it is. When you get invested in a fight, when you get invested in boxing, especially a fighter, you won't enjoy boxing as much because you're sitting there arguing with people about your guy all the time, and it gets toxic, like the LDBC, whatever they're called, like they're doing with everyone. If you put too much, if you invested too much in a fighter, when he gets knocked out, and you've put all these comments on Facebook and everywhere else, you got nowhere to turn. So enjoy the sport, no matter who wins. That's my advice to anyone would be: if you invest in a fighter, like the Deontay Wilder fans who basically are on Prozac right now because their fucking depression hit. If you let something like a fighter losing a fight get you down and get you where you're obsessed with proving why he got cheated and stuff. Get a fucking life.
The only reason something would happen to Stu is if a woman would take it out on him or something.
You know what? Here's the thing.
Sorry, go on, Johnny, go on.
I was just gonna say, bro, everybody on here knows I'm a massive Pacquiao guy. Everybody knows that, right? Like, bro, when Marquez knocked him out, what do you think? It kept me up all night? No, I got a life to live.
Liar.
Man. What the fuck? What?
Liar.
Oh, liar. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but obviously I wasn't happy about it. Pacquiao's one of my favorite of all time. I wasn't happy about it, but it ain't fucking keeping me up nights neither. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I used to sort of make bets once a year or something, probably twice a year. And I think that's why I sort of stopped betting because, like, even if it was only £50 or whatever, that's when, as Stu said, you sort of become invested, unfortunately negative, because then you sort of start worrying, oh, what happens if I lose, and blah, blah, blah. And that's why I thought, you know what, just watch the match, or whether it was boxing, football, and you lose, just get on with your life, man, because these people, aren't paying your bills. Mike Tyson ain't come around your house saying, yo, man, thanks for supporting me, and, here's the money you lost, or here's some money for your electric and gas, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Of course, man.
And
Enjoy the sport,
same
man.
thing with Lomachenko, Teofimo. Like, everybody knows Lomachenko's my guy. I love fucking Lomachenko. If Teofimo goes in there and knocks him out, it's not going to keep me up for the fucking night. I got a life to live over here. The fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't believe
And
that, Johnny.
I think probably that's what and I wonder that's why the Deontay Wilder fans sort of really, as Stu said, put so much investment in him for whatever reason. And when the mountain come crumbling down, it's all gone wrong.
Yeah, because you're finding excuses why he lost, and let's be real, they're embarrassing to listen to. They really are. I mean, these are grown-ass men. These are grown-up. These ain't little kids. These are grown-ass men, and they're crying like little fucking bitches over. Let's be real. Deontay Wilder didn't win a second of that fight.
Stu, they're 45-year-old children is what they are.
Excellent.
Yeah. So Stu, I think we spoke yesterday. I think the next biggest fight we see is Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois. I mean, do you think that could not throw a spanner into the works for Fury AJ because it's too soon? But do you think that could start bubbling up for maybe your next potential something?
Well, of course, that's the next step up to the champions, isn't it? You've got to take steps. You can't just jump in there with the best and expect to win. It's like Canelo when he jumped in there with Floyd. Weren't ready. It showed, didn't it? And look at him now, best fighter in the world. You've got to take the right steps. And
or would you say because he lost, he actually made him a better fighter?
Some fighters learn from defeats and come back stronger. Some fighters fall to pieces and never the same. It just depends on the character.
Because you look at Canelo prior to Floyd, he didn't fight like that. But since the Floyd lost, he improved mountains.
Yeah, true.
Listen, mate, that's what you've got to do. You've got to take something out of the loss. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but if you get beat, you got to take something from it. Canelo took a lot from that fight. He became a different animal. Let's be real, his defense, his super, and that's a lot of Floyd stuff that he's using.
I would disagree a little bit with that because I know a little bit of the backstory how Canelo trained. But he was the trainer had a fighter that kind of practiced the same style, and he kind of learned from a fighter that Canelo's trainer used to train. That trainer used to train Canelo's trainer. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. So for 40-odd fights, he didn't use it, but he gets schooled by Floyd, starts using it, it's not Floyd.
No, if you watch his earlier fighting, he was kind of prone to already do the waist movements. And
the Trout
he's not
fight.
just going to develop it in one fight with Mayweather. Yeah, he certainly improved, but he kind of had already that style.
That's what I said. He learned from that fight. He took things, and he obviously worked on them tools, and he's mastered them right now. He's a tremendous fighter, but he took something from the feet. That's my point.
Yeah,
and he learned that from he didn't learn that from no trainer. He learned that from being in the ring with I don't like Floyd, but an all-time great. He was in there with him, and he got schooled, but he learned from it, and that's what makes the great fighters.
Exactly.
You take a loss, you come back, and you learn from it.
Exactly. And you can go back too. You could say, well, look, Leonard, second time he fought Durant, he learned something for the first one. I can't stand toe to toe with him. I got to use my feet and move around the ring. Pacquiao, same thing with the first time with Morales. That's one of my favorite fights ever, the first Morales fight. But he said, well, I got to go back. I got to do some things. What happened? He came back and not stopped him in the rematch. That guys pick up small little pieces, and some of that's from the ring, and some of it's working on different shit outside the ring, and that's what the great ones do, bro. They come back stronger.
I think that's what Canelo picked up. I think that's what Canelo picked up against Golovkin. In the first fight, he saw something in the latter rounds, how to beat Golovkin, and he brought it into the second fight. That's the top fighters do. All right, Cole Froch. Something like about Cole Froch got absolutely pieced up by Jules Groves in the first. Got lucky to get a win. Second fight, changed the tactics. We all know what happened. So that makes good fighters.
Yeah.
Kenshiro, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think an important lesson learned, during a loss is more valuable than an empty victory. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys there.
But there's sometimes it's just small adjustments in fights that can be the difference between a win and a loss. It's just small adjustments. You don't have to go in there and try and change your style. It's just small adjustments, and that's what the best fighters do. They always come back stronger from the.
Well, unfortunately, it's like Chris Eubank Jr. I mean, I think he's so far in his career learning one style. I don't think he can personally change, even with new trainers.
Yeah, it's like when Prince Nassim Hamed went to Emmanuel Stewart. Like, Emmanuel Stewart's the best trainer of all time for me. I've always said it, but there was nothing Emmanuel Stewart could do to Prince Nassim Hamed. His style of fighting just didn't suit an orthodox style like Prince Nassim Hamed. So it's them sort of guys. Don't matter who's your trainer. You know what I mean? And that's how it is.
Yeah.
In the chat, my team over yours says Lennox Lewis versus Hasim Rahman is a perfect example.
A brilliant example. I mean, Lennox Lewis, was a different machine that night. I mean, one of the best knockouts I've ever seen, and one of the most enjoyable to watch as well. I didn't like Hasim Rahman. I thought he was a piece of shit, and I was happy to see him sleeping on the canvas with his lip bust out. Let's just say that.
I remember, even though I was a kid, I was like 10 or 11 when those fights were going on. I still remember watching them live on the TV, man. It's fucking nice. The one in that era, the one that really threw me, like the other night, how I was in shock from the knockout. The one that threw me for the loop was when Tarver caught Roy Jones. I was like 12 or 13. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was in shock.
I called the Lennox Raham. I called it before he got the punch that landed and knocked him out. I was stepping into the army barracks with my bags, and I told some dude, "Hey, that guy's gonna get knocked out right now." And sure enough, and he always reminded me of that lyric. Hey, remember Gonzo when you called it? I go, yeah.
Oh, you were overseas for that one, Gonzalo?
No,
what fight are you talking about? What fight are you talking about, Gonzalo?
That was the Lennox Raham one fight.
Oh yeah,
the first one.
It's like if we were watching the TV right now, and I told you, Stu, he's about to get knocked out, and you know who the guy is, Lennox Lewis, and he got knocked out.
Yeah, Lennox Lewis went in there looking like Rikishi, didn't he? I mean, it's a dreadful shape. I mean, and it was at high altitude in South Africa, I believe. I mean, that's like fighting a big bet.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing movie shoots like a couple of days before the fight.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Klitschko. Guys in the chat, PSK says he's asking, you think the trainer of Whyte should be criticized? To be fair, Miller did tell Whyte not to get greedy and trade hooks. So,
but to be fair, didn't Dillian Whyte change his trainer for what reason? I don't know.
It's his fault.
Look,
I mean, if it ain't
there's
broke,
a saying,
don't fix it.
There's a saying, don't hook with a hooker. And,
I think it's because of the COVID. He was gone already to Portugal, and he couldn't fly out necessarily at the time that.
Get out of here, Gonzalo, man.
He would have
wait. Let me finish because I heard the interview.
Yeah, but I'm not having this, man. COVID.
Well, let him finish. I want to see what's the story.
He was training in Portugal, and instead of calling him, he said, "Just don't come. I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing."
Are you a Dillian Whyte apologist or something?
No, I don't give a shit.
Look. I'm sorry, Gonzalo. I love you, bro. You're a fucking very knowledgeable guy, but stop making excuses for Dillian Whyte. He got.
What's the name of the guy? Mark Tibbs. Mark Tibbs.
It don't matter who his fucking name is. At the end of the day, he got knocked the fuck out.
Hey, what if he comes back and knocks out Povetkin? Like in the same type of fashion, like fucking crazy ass knockout. Like, what are you guys going to be saying then?
That could happen, bro. I'm not saying Dillian Whyte should stop. Dillian Whyte's still got a career in boxing. He'll still make money in the UK. Believe in me. And like, if he comes back and beats Povetkin, that'll be forgot about. So yeah, look, there's still. But
Okay.
Let's not make
I feel like
excuses.
some people
Let's not,
change.
he
Yeah.
was stuck in Portugal, mate. Fucking Portugal's a lovely country, especially where he was. Hot, fucking sun, loads of females around. Wicked place to train. Well, that's not going to hinder him. He was in good shape. He had the
No, I'm
right
talking
game plan.
about the coach. He didn't call him. He just told him to stay back wherever he was at in England.
Oh, let's listen to him. That coaches are not going to win your fights when you're at the top level. They're just not. The coaches will give you certain game plans, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he replaced the guy.
He could have had Eddie Futch and fucking Ray Arcel in his corner. It still wouldn't have saved
Yeah,
him from that.
exactly. Yeah, I think that's it would have happened anyways.
That's what I'm trying to say. When people keep fucking blowing up these trainers like they're the fucking gods or something, no, they're just lucky. Some of them, or they've saw a good fighter and peaked up a couple of tools here and again and made them more dangerous. That's all it is. I mean, that's why Emmanuel Stewart's the best for me, because he took Klitschko and Lewis, two guys that are vulnerable around the whiskies, and made them very hard to beat, very hard to stop. That's a good trainer for me.
I'm gonna tell you one thing though. If he would have not been so relaxed after dropping this two guy, realizing that Povetkin's a wounded animal, maybe he wouldn't have landed that punch. That was, I think, that was due to strategy. I'm not saying go out there like Anthony Joshua and try to KO Reese after you put him in the canvas, and the announcers are saying, "Here he goes, he's gonna knock him out," then he gets clipped.
I'll tell you what
That's
Dillian
also
White's
a
problem.
good plan, but it didn't work for Joshua.
I'll tell you what Dillian White's problem was. He fucking closed his eyes, and when you don't see the shot coming, you go to sleep.
Kevin said that.
That's what made. That's it.
Kevin in
He
the
closed
chat
his
says,
fucking eyes, didn't see it coming.
Yeah, Kevin
But the
said
feint,
that.
the feint was also. Look, right now the feints are really like in, and it's really improving. Like the techniques that these fighters are employing to land those shot upstairs. He did the Canelo feint similar, where he thought he was going to go to the body, and he hit it very well, and he went upstairs with the hook.
Guys, I just want to read some comments. I just want to get the shot. I just want to get the chat involved in here. Kevin from Chicago says Dilly Willie got beat by an Olympic gold medalist, implying obviously that he didn't get beat by a bomb or anything. PSK says he's asking the rematch date is apparently November 21st. Is that too soon? What do you guys think? Too soon? Who cares?
Nah, man. 3 months is okay. He's not exactly got slaughtered like Wilder. Then I would say possibly too soon. But he was doing very well up until the Mortal Kombat uppercut came about. So, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yo, why would they put it on? See, my voice is all hoarse from screaming at the TV a couple nights ago. Now, why I sound like that fucking dude from Casino, the old guy. Now, what's the call, bro? Why in the fuck would they make that on the 21st? It's the same night Spence and Danny Garcia are fighting. The fuck?
Oh.
It probably wouldn't be at the same time, similar like this time. England earlier.
Yeah, that's right, Gonzalo. You're right. Good call.
It's a good day for boxing, then. Good day for boxing.
Yeah, just like this last weekend, but with better fights, hopefully.
Did you guys? I may have mentioned it. Yes. Did you guys watch Alida Alvarez and Joe Smith? By the way.
Yeah. What did you guys think?
I like Joe Smith. He's a construction worker. I respect any man that's not afraid to get his hands dirty. So I'm glad he got the win.
Blue collar guy.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I called it. I said he was gonna win. The favorite was Alvarez. Somebody's mic is making weird noises. Okay, and anyways, so yeah, guys, we have somebody else on. Oh no, somebody left. People's streamer is open and the phone lines are open, so don't be shy. Stu, did you see that fight, the Alvarez against Smith?
No, I didn't, mate. I'll take it. Alvarez won it, did he?
No, he got stopped.
Well, Smith stopped Alvarez.
Yeah, Alvarez didn't throw any punches. He was just waiting to land a big shot. Never happened. In the meantime, he was getting fucking beat up, man. Uppercuts.
Joe Smith put a fucking beating on him, bro. Good beating.
Yeah. He put him out the rope, similar to Hopkins. Not as bad, but still.
Oh yeah, he fell almost outside the ring again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, again, I mean, like
That's shocking.
Hopkins, but he was impressive. However, listen, when Joe Smith fights Beterbiev, it's going to be a different fight. I mean, for sure, it's going to be a different fight.
That's
Beterbiev is going to fight back. Let's just put it that way. He's going to fight back.
I'll tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. That's going to be a fucking brawl.
For as long as it lasts.
For as long as it lasts, it's going to be a fun fight.
Absolutely.
Wow, yeah. Talk about. I mean, Joe Smith Jr. probably hits as hard as Beterbiev. Maybe not with both hands, but he hits really hard too. Maybe not as hard, but he hits pretty.
He's
fucking
faster.
hard.
He's faster. Has more snap.
I think Joe Smith's going to get his ass whooped in that.
Hey, that's what we said against Alvarez. Well, some people said.
Yeah, I had Joe Smith Jr. I had Povetkin winning as well, man. To be honest, I called those two predictions.
Smith in that fight?
Huh?
I said, Bucho, you picked Joe Smith to win that fight?
Yeah. Check out the Gonzalo and I at the end. He asked me about the fight. I was like, I think that's right.
Look,
now,
he's got a good right hand. His overhand is powerful, but he's got like a 50% KO ratio with only 12 knockouts. But as he showed in the Kovalev fight, he can pop, but he's got to do it from a distance with that overhand right. And that's about the only punch he has. For a tall guy, he can't really do anything on the inside. I was noticing that.
Jay Perez in the chat says Joe Smith packed a decent resume. Good point. I mean, this guy has been in there with some of the best of the division.
He knocked out Fanfara. He knocked out Bernard. He knocked out Alvarez. The kid can fight, man. He lost. I got outpointed by Duvall and
movement.
Yeah, but he's a good fighter. I like the kid, man.
Will he beat Beterbiev? Probably not. Does he deserve the fight? Hell fucking yes, man. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Dillian. Yeah, it's the same thing with Dillian Whyte. No matter what you think of his abilities, he deserved his title shot.
That's what it's all about, you know. All right, let's get to the chat here. Go ahead.
That Beterbiev guy, I mean, he's been dropped before. Stu probably knows. You guys know about this for a guy from England.
Callum Johnson, yeah. Callum Johnson.
Mm-hmm. But he's the type of guy that will bruise you up. And if you're Joe Smith Jr. and Beterbiev hits you many times and he pieces you up, he's going to damage you. This guy makes fools retire, man. He hits that hard.
St. Brit Sports says he dropped Sullivan Barrera as well. People are talking about AA.
He lost to Sullivan Barrera.
Yeah. AA saying Hrgovic versus Babic. I don't know if you guys saw that Babic guy in the undercard of the Dillian Whyte Povetkin fight. He looks a bit slow, but he has a lot of fucking power from what it looks like. That'd be a great fight.
I think Hrgovic's not going to get out. He's too big. Yeah,
Babic is small, man, and Hrgovic is pretty big. So, yeah, there's a size difference there. Are they both Croatian? Is Babic Croatian? I don't know. Two Croatians.
I don't know too much about that guy.
Babic is about 190
I didn't even realize
pounds.
a lot of these fights were happening, man. They said that kid, Joey Spencer, he fought. They were talking about him. I was watching a fucking barbershop what he was saying. He was all glad fucking Dillian Whyte won. And they were rallying him up like he's supposed to be this great, because LDBC supports Joey Spencer. What I hear from you guys, he's garbage.
He's trash.
Never seen the guy fight, man. Never seen the guy.
He's trash.
Then that Tower Inferno guy, that welterweight, 54-pounder, he fought too.
Cool.
What's his name? Fundora?
Don't remember him.
Sebastian Fundora. He's 154. He's already fought like 2 times ever since.
Wait. How is this? Is that the giant?
He's like 6'7". Yeah.
Yeah. He's weird. That's fucking a freak of nature, man. He's like 6 foot.
He's weird.
How tall is he? Let me check it out.
He's like 6'7" and he fights on the inside. He don't know how to fight from the outside.
Sebastian Fundora, that guy, 22, 6'5", and he fights in the super welterweight division.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've seen
6'5". What the fuck?
He fucking
was Thomas the Hitman Hearns around that sort of height?
No, he was 6'2", no? 6'1", 6'2"?
Shit.
And
This
I
guy's
think he fought
6'5".
Terrell Gausha.
See, that's to me that's kind of fucking horse shit. Like you're just killing yourself so you got a huge height and reach advantage over
He's-
everybody else in the division. That's kind of horse shit in my eyes.
He's 22 though.
I
So-
don't give a fuck what he is. What did Will Smith say? Motherfucker, you look 30.
I'm gonna post a picture so people see what the hell this guy. Oh man.
I think he's like half Mexican, half Ecuadorian. Similar to Benavides, your boy, Johnny.
Your boy.
The Benavides brothers.
Johnny loves those guys. Where's the? Here we go. I'm gonna show you guys this 6'5", man. Ah shit. This is a giant in the super welterweight division.
Yeah, but he's got legs like an ostrich.
There you have it. Look at this. What
Fuck.
in the name of God is this? Oh. Can you guys see on the screen on YouTube? Can you guys see what I'm looking at?
Yeah, but hang on. He was punching this black guy in white shorts. The black guy looked quite tall himself. What was that? It was black.
Terrell Gausha.
Where's it gone? Yeah, you'll see the CEO. Oh no.
I think it was Terrell Gausha. Kenshiro.
Was but the black guy in the white shorts? Yeah, that guy looked bloody tall himself.
Fucking Christ! Look
Yeah,
at this. That's a
Terrell
freak,
Gausha. I
man.
think she's like maybe
Look
like
at this
6'1".
guy. Look at that. Man.
6'5", super welterweight. Now, do you guys think he has a chin? Or what about a body shot?
What do you think, Butcher?
I don't know, man. Probably not.
He's
I mean,
slept. Can you
body
imagine
shot
Errol
also.
Spence landing on him?
He needs to be fed some burritos, man. He needs to put some meat on.
Yo, man, eat something. Can this guy go far, or he's just like a type of butterbean type of fighter?
I heard he's
Circus.
pretty good. I haven't really watched him that much.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. Fucked up.
Yeah, I
What's
guess
his
he's
record?
like the
What's his
tallest
record?
54-pounder in history.
Kevin from Chicago, thank you for your contribution. He says Bucho Gonzalo BDA, shout out. Shout out to Kevin from Chicago. Thank you, man.
What's that guy's record anyway?
15-0-1, I believe. 15-0-1 with 10 knockouts, 22 years of age.
I've seen this guy fight. I've seen this guy fight. He was actually winning the fight, and then he started getting rocked to his boots in the latter rounds.
It's weird. You think he'd fight on the outside like Tommy Hearns, but as Butcher said, he wants to fight on the inside, which is fair enough.
Gonzalo
Then.
said that.
Yeah. This is no Tommy Hearns we're talking about.
Fuck no, man.
No,
Hey,
yeah, he
guys.
fights on the inside, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. But
Yeah, well,
with that
why
height,
would you?
you'd fight on the
I mean,
outside.
Jesus. You have that reach, fucking use it. Hey guys, is it true that Johnny Nelson said? I mean, you guys who live in the UK, Johnny Nelson, his predictions apparently they suck, man. Some of his analysis, is that true? I heard that when Usyk fought Tony Bellew, for example, he said, "Oh, this fight's a 50-50 fight." Like, what do you guys think about Johnny Nelson? Sorry.
Right. If you thought his
Dickhead.
predictions sucked, wait till you watch him fight.
Hey Stu,
Okay.
Stu, have you seen Johnny Nelson when he was in that video with I think Prince Nazim was fighting Barrera, and they had an hour video of Prince Nazim, and Johnny Nelson came in all this ghetto gear. I think at the time he was trying to be some gangster. He had all his friends with him, and you think, oh my god, yeah, it's that was some funny shit.
One of the most boring fighters you'll ever see, guys, in boxing.
People in the chat saying terrible. He's terrible. He's a company man. What do you expect? Biggest company man ever. Company man. Well, there you have it.
Yeah, then if you say the wrong thing, you get fired like Paulie Malignaggi.
Oh.
Yeah, but at least Paulie keeps it real.
Yeah, well now
You go against the grain.
now he's fired. So
He
that's the
picked
pilot.
He picked Cal Brook to beat Golovkin.
Who?
Who did?
Johnny Nelson.
Oh man. Jesus.
Johnny must have been
Here's
smoking those
a
drugs.
bit of
Mate.
advice to here's a bit of advice to the boxing fans. Whoever Johnny Nelson picks, pick the other guy to win.
Overhand in the chat says Paulie Malignaggi has an Eastern Euro fetish. Okay.
Okay. Do tell.
I don't know. PSK in the chat says Johnny Nelson is a token court jester for Sky Sports Boxing. So there you go. He's like a clown there.
Yeah.
Actually, like kind of how Tony Bellew commentates, but he also gets it very wrong.
Well, I'd rather have him get it wrong than fucking have Andre Ward talk about himself. Remember
Always
son of
talking
God.
about himself, right? Jesus, man.
If I was him, I would be doing that. If I was him, like, no, you're not. Just call the fight, man. You just tell us what this boxer should be doing, what he's doing right, wrong. You know, don't put yourself in there. You're no longer a boxer, man.
That's right. Or how I was tougher than what he's showing right now. If I was him, no way in hell would I allowed myself to be put in that position.
Yeah,
Shit like that.
I'm so smart. Well, he was smart. He left the sport at the right moment because he didn't take that Kovalev third fight. So that was smart from his part. Maybe God told him.
But-
Maybe he heard a voice.
Yeah, but wasn't he trying to call out Canelo though in a sly way though?
I think I don't remember exactly, but I think he kind of he wanted to fight Canelo. Who doesn't want to fight Canelo? It's a fucking payday.
Yeah.
Embarrassing,
right.
embarrassing. And then he wanted to fight Tony Bellew at some point. Remember? Ah,
If Canelo fought, if Andre Ward came back and Canelo did stay at 175 for Ward, who do you think would win?
That's a good fight. Fucking Andre Ward probably wins.
You think so?
Naturally
he's a
bigger.
big fucking guy, man.
That's stupid. That's a stupid fight. Andre Ward, the cruiserweight.
Yeah.
I'd rather
He's really big.
I'd rather see Usyk and Andre Ward than fucking Andre Ward and Canelo, to be honest with you.
Well, unless Canelo had like a £10 stipulation or Andre Ward or something of that nature, that's all I can think of.
Andre Ward, he ain't coming back.
I hope he doesn't.
No point. He's got a good job at. I don't even know who's he with the ESPN.
Yes,
ESPN,
sir.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got a good job there, mate. You know, look, I like Andre Ward as a person. I do. I think he's a humble guy. I like him. I just didn't like the way he fought. Boring.
I don't think you've listened to him commentates too.
He's
He
not.
doesn't lose.
I don't
He doesn't
mind-
sound humble,
I
man.
don't mind Andre
I
Ward.
100% agree with that, Stu. I like the guy. I just didn't care for his fight. And outside the ring, he's a class act. He's a gentleman.
He's a class act, mate. Like you said, he left the sport. He left the sport unbeaten with his faculties about him.
Yeah.
Oh
And
wow!
he's a class act.
Round of
He's a
applause.
class
Round of
He's a
applause.
class act, and he's a very good commentator at that.
He's a good commentator, but he injects himself in the third person too much in the
Yeah, but the thing-
conversation.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that's what fighters do. When they're watching fights, they're watching fights to see what they could do differently. That's just a natural thing, and that's what he's there to do. What do you want to hear about Carl Froch getting the names wrong and fucking getting the rounds, scoring the rounds wrong? And,
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yes, I don't.
I'm
Yes,
talking about 80,000 fans again at Wembley.
I want to hear that
Or Matthew
again.
Macklin, Colin Chocolatito Choquito.
Chucky.
Then finally in the end, like in the 11th round, he pronounces it right. It's Chocolatito.
I don't give a shit, man.
Matthew Macklin was calling Chocolatito Chocolito for about 10 rounds.
Chocolio.
And then in the 11th round, he started getting it right. He started someone had a word with him. I'm like, why wait till 10 rounds? Fucking tell him in the first one he's getting it wrong. You know,
Hey, at least you get a laugh out of these
Dreadful,
commentators. At
dreadful
least you get a
commentator.
fucking laugh.
Really
With
is.
Andre Ward, all you get is like anger.
Somebody's saying taquito. I thought you said that
Taquito.
in the chat. Taquito.
Quito.
Yeah, man, they should give Paulie Malignaggi a second opportunity with a different network. But in this cancel culture, I
Hey,
doubt
Nobody's
it.
gonna
DAZN,
want
you
to
should go
touch
to
the guy.
DAZN.
Nobody's gonna want
Hey,
to touch
say what
him.
you like about Paulie, right? Paulie might be a sport little Italian. That's a whiny little fuck. But he's the best commentator in boxing by a mile.
Look, and I was listening to
Yeah.
Dwyer Pucho, and he made a good point, man. Boxing it uses a lot of race, like when to describe things. The Jews were good at some period, the Irish were good, the Italians, the Mexicans, the Eastern Europeans, but he did never say something racially denigrating to anybody.
Gonzalo, I don't even like Paulie, but he didn't deserve to get fucking canned from that. All he said was he goes, look, back in the old days, the fucking English and Irish had there. 20 years later, it was the Jewish guys and the Italians. 20 years later, after that, it was the black guys. 20 years later, after that, it's the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans. And now we got the Eastern Europeans. That's all he said.
That's all he said?
That's right.
Is that all he said?
That's all he said. He's like, I think that's all he said. He didn't deserve to get fucking fired. I don't even like the cocksucker, and he didn't deserve to get fired.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Did the LWC
Yeah, but even
address
if he did not use the right words, look, you have people saying, and it was coming off the comments of fucking Devin Haney about he would never lose to a white guy, and other guys that said that before too. There's a lot of race involved in boxing. You can't just be all sensitive about it.
But look at Bernard Hopkins when he said, "I'll never lose to a white boy." Nobody
That's
said
fine.
fuck all to him.
No, you can say that.
And what about fucking Floyd? Floyd said everything degrading about everybody. He had degrading shit to say about Hispanics, white people, Asians, everything. Nobody ever made a peep.
And
What
you
I
got
never
like
understood, why
fighters with
nobody
the
said nothing
nickname
back to him
like
when
the
he said something
fucking
back to
the
them.
Black Mamba, the Italian Stallion. Well, that was in the movie, but you got fighters with names in reference to their race. Irish Mickey Ward. You know, there's a lot of race involved in boxing.
Yeah.
I don't give
Was
two
like when
shits about
was
it.
like when Adrian
Look,
Broner made
this is
a
why I look
racial
at it.
remark about
It's a natural.
Manny Pacquiao.
It's a natural. It's a natural instinct to back your countryman or your race, or some. In some cases, I mean, I don't pick fighters over race, but I do a countryman. I always want my countryman to beat someone from somewhere else. So it's an natural instinct. Look, it's always been like that. It is what it is. Don't bother me. I mean, sometimes it makes it more fun, especially when you see.
Is that why you're picking Luke Campbell over Ryan Garcia?
Stu, do you back me a con then?
I don't remember making a pick in that fight, actually.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. I'll make you pick right now. In that fight, you're going to see the difference between a man and a boy. That's what I'm going to say.
Hey, Johnny, isn't that fight site for November 21st as well?
They said they haven't given an official date yet, Gonzalo. They said they're shooting for November, though. So it's signed for. It is signed for.
Shit, man, that fucking month is stacked, bro.
Yeah. But October, November, bro. We got fucking Teofimo Lomachenko. We got fucking Tank and Santa Cruz. We got fucking Spence and Garcia. We got Ryan and Luke. Like October, the fall's gonna be fun, man.
You know what? That tank fucking Santa Cruz Garcia is interesting on many levels. I'm pretty sure Stu agrees with that too. Or does he think that fucking Tank is gonna wipe him out?
Yeah, that's a good question, Stu.
I'm intrigued by that fight, definitely. I mean, Tank's very exciting on his day. Leo Santa Cruz, never exciting on any day. Just terrible to watch. He's the most boring Mexican I've ever come across in my life. I mean, even when he just sits there grinning when he's doing an interview, he's just got no person, no character. Even in a boxing ring, it's just one geared. There's nothing about him that excites me. Terrible. But a very good fighter if you break down his skill set. It's just what you like. I don't like Santa Cruz. I think he's boring. I think he ducked a rematch with Hampton in Belfast. That's where I am. Tank Davis, on the other hand, very exciting fighter when his head's in the right place. Just don't know whether it will be or not. So 50-50 fight.
They were booing for him in his hometown this last fight. Go ahead, Kinshiro. I'm sorry.
No, I'm looking at the website. It looks some decent fights coming up come September, October, and even August. So September, October.
Yeah, I'm looking at the people in the chat are looking at the schedule over here, and we're now entering September. Jamal Herring versus Jonathan Okendo.
Yeah.
Hasn't that
not a
guy
big
got like
fight.
fucking COVID like 3 times already?
I don't know, man.
Harry?
Yeah, he is. I like Eric though. He's a classy guy too.
He's
Erickson
big as
Lubin,
fuck too.
Erickson Lubin against Terrell Gausha.
You know what? I'll tell you what the sleeper fight is on that schedule though. Nonito and Nubali, bro. That's the sleeper fight right there, man. That's gonna be a good fucking fight right there.
There you go. You got a guy that's how old is Donito Naide? He's really old too.
37?
37, something like that, yeah.
I keep bringing this up, man, but it's true. A lot of the old fighters, there's fucking like at least 5 of them, like before in the pound for pound list. There's always been old guys that are relevant. Marquez, Mayweather, Pacquiao, fucking Hopkins, and this was like all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean,
the guys still.
Yeah,
go ahead. I was just remembering what Povetkin did when everybody's saying, "Oh, he was old."
Yeah. Now I was gonna mention something about that. Donaire is pretty small.
Yeah, that's more. Yep.
So it's more impressive what he's doing right now. I mean, that Inoue fight. Sure, he lost the fight, but he showed us that he still has something, man. The power is there for sure.
When is Inoue fighting again?
He gave Inoue all he could handle.
Yeah.
Is Inoue gonna be fighting soon?
Anybody in the chat, let us know if you can find out when Inoue is fighting again.
Oh, they said they're trying to get Inoue Maloney for November, but the fight they were supposed to be making is Inoue Casimero.
Oh,
it goes to
Inoue
show how
many fights he can make,
isn't it? Or something like that.
Like Inoue, he moved up 3 divisions. It's very impressive. He's got knockout power, but when he's fighting the guy that's also pushing the limits of like, well, he had to come down to 118, but as far as divisions above, he's not doing what he did to the other guys. I'm speaking about Inoue. It kind of goes to show Lomachenko the situation where he's at.
This is what happens when you step up to the elite level of boxing. These guys, these guys are not falling over. They see these shots coming, they brace for it, they ride it. Like I said, crafty customer, and this is what happened.
And wouldn't you agree, Stu, that one division makes a whole lot of a difference sometimes? That one division,
of course it does.
Where you're straddling the fence.
Of course it does. I mean, you could get a world-class guy in one division, move him up a few pounds, up probably 3 or 4 pounds. His average. That's what we have weight divisions.
Yeah.
Hey, when it comes
look at Ricky Hatton at 140 was a very good fight. 147.
Yeah.
Struggled. Devin Alexander.
Yeah, but to be fair, he fought Floyd and Pacquiao, though, isn't it?
Dreadful.
But that's when he fought Floyd and Pacquiao, though, isn't it?
Well, he fought Pacquiao at 140, though.
Don't matter. He fucking for me, he lost to fucking was it Collazo?
Yeah, he lost.
He lost to Collazo.
Well, it was a close. Yeah, it was a close fight.
Look, he beat Paulie Malignaggi. What we do, though.
No, that's what I always said, Stu. That's a good. I mean, thank you. Thank God you brought this up. I always said Ricky Hatton wasn't a welterweight. And Floyd's a big guy. People keep saying, "Oh, Floyd's just little welterweight guy." He's not that small, man. Look at the fight. Look at when he fought Canelo. You don't see a huge size difference from Canelo.
He's not that big either. I think he's just not that right big. Around that's the size.
But he can fight at 150 at full 154. He didn't never. Why did he have to bring some fighters down like 2 pounds? It doesn't make when he fought at 154. It doesn't make sense. He fought.
The biggest joke is when Floyd fought that little Japanese kid.
That's a good example. He fucking kicked his ass, man.
Yeah.
He looked like a prime fucking Mayweather knocking out Corrales with that power.
And he got paid $7.5 million for that 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, hopefully he's got his shit together and he knows how to manage his money. Because in some ways he seems like a smart guy, and I don't wish ill will to nobody. And it seems like nowadays, Mucho, he's getting more credit now that he retired. Especially like now, people are speaking about him as if he were like the most intelligent, maybe even the greatest fighter ever. I hear people saying that shit nowadays.
Floyd?
Yeah, it's like if like people almost forget, or like if you keep saying something so many times over, people start thinking that that's true. It goes the same thing for fake news.
No,
like Candyman.
Like,
I don't know why they
Floyd
always said
was
he
a
was smart. Go ahead, Stu.
Floyd was a defensive genius, but when you break down cherry picking, his thievish demands, is what is. Let's be real. He made Canelo fight a weight he was never going to make. Always has to have the upper hand. And then you look at how he pop shotted his way to points winners against Robert Guerrero. The man that he had all over the place and could have stopped him. Just never ever putting it on the line for the fans. Just and he basically said to us as boxing fans, he basically laughed at us and said that I'm going to fight like this and you're still going to pay. And we fucking sat there giggling and fell for it. I mean, that's my problem with Floyd. Just didn't put on a show for the fans.
So we are to blame for him being boring. No, but listen, yeah, he was boring. A lot of people wanted to see him lose, so that's why people paid to see his fights. Now some people are gonna say, "Oh well, why should he fight this way? You know, why should he get into an exciting
Listen,
fight?"
I'm not saying he should go in there and fight like Arturo Gatti. I'm just saying when you've got people like Guerrero out there, he's just out on his feet, ready to be taken out, and Floyd's carrying him the rounds. I mean, get him out of there, put on a show. You're making fucking $50 million.
I had Arturo beating Floyd at the time of the stoppage. I'm just
Hi, Johnny, come on. Don't say that, man. People are gonna think you're serious, man. Johnny boy said, Johnny boy.
I'm just kidding. Doug, I swear to God, the next motherfucker that brings up Keith Thurman to me, I still might go off after this show. What the fuck? Keith Thurman didn't fight for 2 fucking years, came back, got the shit slapped out of him by a shot Pacquiao, and now he ain't fought for another 2 years. Fuck Keith Thurman, he's irrelevant. He's sitting in the middle of fucking India on a hilltop, eating mushrooms and stroking the flute. Fuck Keith Thurman.
What if Pacquiao comes back and beats Crawford? Is that shot Pacquiao? What do you think, Johnny?
Thurman. Now he's calling out Crawford and everybody starts getting boners. Ooh, breaking news, bro. Keith Thurman called out Crawford. Who gives a fuck? He's fought once.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he should change his name. He should change his name from One Time to No Time now.
He fucked up his career. Yeah, exactly, man.
On a fucking hilltop in India, dropping acid and playing the flute. Fuck Keith Thurman.
He fucked up his career, man. I have no sympathy for fucking what's his name, Keith Thurman. This guy, huge layoffs. Then didn't really fight. I mean, he fought Danny Garcia at some point. One of the most boring fights of all time. That fight was boring, man. And then loses against an old Pacquiao. And now he acts like he's a big shot, and he's calling out Terence Crawford. Nah, I don't respect the guy. I think he fucked up his career.
Needs to rebuild himself again.
Yeah, I don't think he wants. I just think he wants a payday and retire.
Maybe he's got running out of money. He got that wife that he brought down from the mountains. Maybe he got used to like the American life.
Maybe him and Adrian Broner can fight.
That'd be a good fight.
Adrian Broner says he wants to go down in weight and challenge these guys at 35 and 40.
You talking about Thurman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the last of the Mohicans. That's who he thinks he is.
Yeah, he's in a hard spot between the how's the saying go, between the rock and the hard place, because then you got the prospects calling him out like Virgil Ortiz, right?
I like Keith Thurman. I really like Keith Thurman. I think I think he's an exciting fighter at times. I think he's a big character, but there's just something missing with Keith Thurman. He's lost his spark. You know,
What?
Maybe he just should go into commentating.
Sorry,
He's a
Stu.
good
Sorry to
commentator.
Stu. Sorry to interrupt. When did he lose his spark? Because in my opinion, he lost it a long time ago. It wasn't just after the Pacquiao fight.
The Collazo fight, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. The layoffs.
He got hit with he got caught with a big body shot. He fucking
I think-
crumpled.
Have you
I
seen
just don't
that
think he's ever-
Keith Thurman speech when he's talking to Paulie Malignaggi and Paulie comes to his post-win show? He's like saying, "Paulie, you better not be ducking me, Thurn. You better not be ducking me."
Yeah, I remember.
That
I
is-
remember it. I know. He was calling out Malignaggi like he was calling out some monster. He was looking at the cameras. Yeah, look at me, innit? I'm not scared. Neither would I be, Keith. All right, Paulie beat me up, but I wouldn't be scared of getting out with Paulie either. He can fucking punch candy floss off a stick. Get out of here, man. I mean, to be fair, but I don't see him calling out fucking Errol with the same energy. You know what I mean? And people like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he took that Danny Garcia fight, but the way he
What?
Why?
Who is
Why?
Keith's, who is
Danny
Keith's
Gar-
biggest winner?
Why would you be surprised? Danny Garcia could. Danny Garcia, if he had the winning raffle ticket in his hand, he still wouldn't collect the prize. He'd lose the ticket or something. This is a guy who he can never win at anything. Every time he's in a big fight, he loses.
no,
How many opportunities? How many opportunities this guy
Lucas
had?
Lucas Matisse,
Oh,
50,000 years
fuck,
ago.
man.
That was 50,000 years ago. It's
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to Jack Johnson if you want.
Yeah,
How far are we going to go back here?
Danny
Garcia. Danny Garcia, right? He beat up an old Morales. He beat up a glass.
I forgot about that
Amir
shit.
Khan. He beat up a coward in Lucas Matisse. Let's be real. I mean,
Oh, fuck, yeah.
he's definitely that French name suits his courage. Let's just say that.
Oh,
Because the
man,
French have never
here we
been
go.
known for their bravery, are they? So yeah, Matisse has got the right name. There, coward. Every time anyone stepped on the gas and put it on him, folded like a pack of cards. So that is that a good win? Not really. I mean, who else is there? Amir Khan. I mean, anyone with any sort of power that landed on his chin would sleep in him. So it is what it is. Who else was there? What great
Judah.
name?
Peterson,
Zab
Lamont Peterson.
Zab Judah. Let's be real. Zab Judah would the guy that always finds a way out of a fight when it's not going his way was actually beating the brakes off of Danny Garcia in the latter rounds. Go back and watch it. Zab Judah,
Granados.
the man that quit against Amir Khan.
The last
That guy.
the last 4 or 5 rounds of that fight, Zab Judah was beating the fuck out of Danny Garcia.
He was
Fucking
making
40 years old and completely shot. Spence is gonna fucking ice that kid. I'm telling you.
Oh,
If he's
man,
open,
come on,
no, well,
Exactly. Look,
I don't know.
that's when the alarm bells should have started to ring to you guys. When Zab Judah, the guy that, let's be real, Zab was a very talented guy, but he was well past his best, and he was finding way outs of fights. I mean, just horrible to watch. He become a circus act, and he went in.
Yeah,
there.
he's like the biggest disappointment ever. Kind of like
Of course,
Irvin.
yeah, exactly.
Yo,
it's a bit
man.
he's a bit like Andre Durrell, where Durrell had all the talent and all the skills in the world, just was a circus act, always trying to find a way out. Him and Zab are just the same. Oh, excuse me. And let's be real, Zab beat the brakes off of Danny in the latter round.
I think since
was
the Floyd
embarrassing
loss,
to watch.
that's what it went down wrong for him.
But I don't know about Spence, Johnny. Like you say, people keep bringing up Spence, and I don't know. Ever since the accident, he moved up like 2-3 places on the pound for pound list. I don't get that.
What?
Yeah, I know. Because he survived, so he's a tough guy.
If Spence is 100%,
And he's grown some new tits.
if Spence is 100% in that fight, he's going to be the first guy to stop Danny. Watch.
He was like 10, then like number 7, and all of a sudden after the car accident, he's like number 3.
Hey, dog. Well, next time I go through the car windshield, I better move up in the fucking rankings. That's all I know.
That helps. Everyone knows.
That helps.
So
That's
I
probably
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that you sound like all of you guys. You sound like Danny Garcia haters. Like he just
Danny Garcia
yeah.
haters.
What's there to
He's
love?
got an iron
What-
chin.
what-
I'll tell you
I
that
think
much.
his dad sort of doesn't help his cause either.
His dad's a
Well-
fucking cocksucker.
What's there to love about the guy?
Left
Yeah,
hook,
what's there to
the
like
left
about
hook,
that piece of shit?
closing
What's
his
there?
eyes,
Let me
and
tell you something.
throwing the
Let me tell
left
you
hook.
Let me tell you something. If you call yourself, I'm his father and all this, who in the fuck lets their two 16-year-old daughters dress like that and go to a fucking fight? These broads had 2 fucking napkins on. I saw more of fucking them than I saw Sharon Stone on
Jesus.
Basic Instinct, for Christ's sake.
Oh man, well, what do you expect?
Put some fucking clothes on and wash them ass cheeks off. Do me a favor, will you?
They look like little hood rats, huh, Johnny?
Hey, Gonzalo, yeah, that's what they is, bro. That's what they're like, bro. Why are you letting them dress like that and shit? That's exactly what reminded me of when I was a teenager, Gonzalo.
But just look at the father, how he speaks to the cameras,
Yo,
using
he's
all that
trash,
foul
man. That
language.
guy's trash. That
Yep.
guy's fucking trash. He doesn't even think. You know when some people don't even think what they're saying? Like these guys,
Like Peter
he's like that.
Griffin.
He's
Peter
an
Griffin's that
idiot.
guy.
He's an idiot. Like he's gonna end up in a fucking crazy situation at some point, man.
And he met up with Teofimo Lopez, his dad, in one of the interviews I
Oh
saw,
God.
and they were all like homies dabbing it up. It's like one like the other, like they related or something. Really
Yeah.
weird.
I wonder how much powder was consumed between the two
Yo,
of
and
them
he
that night.
admits it, man. He's he's a cokehead, I think. He even said it. I need that money for hook. What's it? No, strippers and cocaine or something. I was like,
Yeah, dude, the only guy that can outsnort the cocaine with him is Sam Kinison, and he's dead.
He kind of like Al Bundy, Garcia's dad. If you think about it.
what?
He's a Puerto Rican Al
Yeah,
Bundy,
Puerto
Gonzalo.
Rican Al Bundy.
Puerto Rican Al Bundy, yeah.
Puerto Rican Al Bundy.
Yeah, I've been seeing some crazy fucking similarities, man. I was watching Julian Jackson this weekend, and I thought that he looked like fucking Michael Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao's son. Then I was watching Elidier Alvarez fight, and I thought he looks like fucking what's that? Navarrete, the 18-pounder, the 22-pounder.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
look very similar in the face.
Didn't notice that, man. You're crazy.
Do you think? I mean, I think Danny should just get rid of his dad, or unfortunately, because his dad's being
No,
fairly
no,
wealthy, he
no,
can't.
no. What's gonna change at this point? Let him stay with the father. Nothing's gonna change. Actually, you look at Danny Garcia's career. Nothing has ever changed. Still the same guy. Trying to land that fucking hook, hoping for the best.
Are Mikey and Danny related, or just same surname?
Yeah, surname.
No,
It's a
surname,
very
yeah.
common Hispanic name.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah. I hope they're not related to fucking Ryan anywhere down the line. That would be a fucking travesty.
So somebody mentioned Mikey Garcia. Who wants to shit on Mikey Garcia now? Johnny Boy.
Hey,
I mean, I think fucking Danny's better off than Mikey because, well, Mikey he might have a good chin, but I think fucking Danny Garcia's got a granite chin for the welterweights because they're not big, both of them.
Mikey should go back to 140 at least.
Well,
He
his
should-
power
he should.
carries more at the lower weight. He didn't bring it up to 47. That's the reason.
Because wasn't Mikey trying to say one time or recently-ish, I would like to fight Lomachenko at 135 potentially.
Oh, a long time ago, man. No, I don't know. I don't know if he mentioned the weight, but you know, it was a fight that I think both of them mentioned. But obviously, Mikey was more interested in the money because why the hell
Yeah.
would
That
you
would've-
move
he-
up all the way to welterweight to fight Errol Spence Jr.? That just didn't make sense. Well, it made sense if you
Look-
think about the money.
Yeah, the respect that
Mikey might as
Teofimo's
well-
getting. Go ahead.
Hold
Stu.
on,
Go
hold on.
ahead.
One at a time.
I was
let's
going to say,
do
Mikey
that.
might as well have bent over and took it. Well, I'll leave you the rest for you. Like.
I'm gonna tell you something. Look, if all the respect that Teofimo Lopez is getting for accepting the Lomachenko fight,
Mikey would have got out there even more because he was more established 35-pounder. All that shine he would have got to him for himself. But no,
How
instead
long
he
ago was
decided to
that
go up to welterweight.
Spencer fight now?
What's that, Kenshiro?
How long ago was that Spencer fight now between him and Mikey?
The Spence fight against Mikey, that was last year? Or
That was about 18 months ago. It was last March, brother.
It was March or May. I think it
Well,
was
biggest
May.
mistake he made.
Yeah.
In the last 18 months, his career just went down the toilet, mate.
Yo,
Yeah.
worst part is fucking Mikey not doing shit and then raising his arm after every fucking round.
He's a fuck.
Yay!
That was annoying
Yay,
as
I'm
fuck,
still alive.
man.
But the thing is, though, it does make
Wait,
you
hold
wonder
on,
if
Stu, what'd you say?
Spence cannot knock out a 140 man. What does that say then?
Stu, what'd you say?
I just went, yeah, after every round. Yay, I'm still alive.
Oh yeah,
Embarrassing.
exactly. Celebrating that. Black Lomachenko
Dreadful
says
fight.
Mikey
Look.
was stealing rounds, like Sugar Ray Leonard against fucking Hagler.
The only reason Mikey wanted to fight 147 guys, so he didn't have to lose weight in camp.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
but
fucking-
what?
The guy
how-
don't care
what does
for
that-
boxing.
what
He
does it
doesn't
say,
care
though?
for boxing, mate.
He was doing the snack at that time, I think.
he came in fat. No, not fat, but he didn't even. I was like, you know what? If Mikey puts on some muscle, man, it's gonna
Look like
be
a hamster.
competitive. Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
supposed to because he was doing the snack, but he just came in as regular.
Well, my
People
prediction was a
you
draw.
give Andy Ruiz stick for his performance. Mikey's worked a lot better.
True.
People have two ways of seeing that. Maybe since he don't belong in welterweight, he survived, and that just goes to show how good of a 35-pounder he was.
Yeah, because I think Robert Garcia was saying his brother saying, "Yeah, Mike is gonna win. Mike is gonna win," and well, also what happened.
No, I think his brother and father didn't think he could win the fight. Actually, they didn't want him to take the Spence fight, but once he took the fight, you could tell that they were trying to convince themselves that Mikey had a chance. Because I remember watching some of those preview videos.
Yeah,
You could
you
see
know,
Mikey's
didn't convince me.
yeah, Mikey's father and Robert Garcia, so his brother, they were like, they were talking to each other as they were watching Mikey do some shadow boxing. Yeah, I think he's gonna win. Yeah, I think he's gonna win. Yeah, he should. Yeah, like you could tell they were just trying to. Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
Oh, and is that in Robert Garcia's gym? Is that one?
Yeah. At his gym, yeah.
I see that one. Yeah.
It was
The
obvious.
best part of that fight was Roberto Duran dancing at the fucking weigh-in. That was the best part of that fucking fight.
I don't even remember that shit.
You don't remember? You don't remember that?
I don't even. No. I
Pull
don't
up, dude, Buccio, pull up David Benavidez and Jalen Love face off, bro. You're gonna. Oh, you don't remember that?
Oh yeah, I do.
It was fucking hysterical, bro. That was the highlight of that whole card.
The best bit about that fight was when it was over.
Absolutely.
Dreadful.
Hey, that was a
Terrible.
pay-per-view, people. Could you believe that?
So again,
That was a pay-per-view fight.
yeah.
Which one?
Mikey against Spence.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah,
Garbage.
Yeah. Not much, but yeah.
I thought it was interesting. You know,
The thing is,
you
I
got a
wouldn't-
smaller
but I
guy
mean,
facing the
I-
bigger
I
guy,
would-
and he survived. I thought he was gonna get knocked out. Well, I shouldn't say that. When I was watching that, I thought he was gonna get knocked out. Before I said to myself, and I spoke to everybody on the PDA, that I didn't think he was gonna get knocked out. But as I was watching it, I'm like, holy shit, he's fucking fighting the bigger guy, and they were about to stop it in the 10th.
Let me ask you guys something. Let me ask you guys something. Which American Latino fighter is popular outside America in his own native, I guess, country? Obviously, Canelo doesn't count because he's obviously born in Mexico. But which American fighter who's Latino is actually very popular? You know, in their
Very
respective
popular.
mother
None
country?
of them. Mikey kind of.
Antonio Margarito.
It's definitely not Danny Garcia.
Oh,
I
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
can't stand the guy in Puerto Rico.
Antonio Margarito.
Margarito was.
He's from Tijuana, where I'm from, but he's like me. He was born in the United States.
Okay,
He
but
was
he
born
doesn't
in
even speak
California.
English, man. But he's a different case.
He didn't even
because-
speak. He didn't
No.
even speak English.
No,
that much.
he yeah,
Speaks a
Gonzalo,
little bit.
he's Mexican because he was raised in Mexico.
Yeah,
basically, so.
Yeah, a dog's not a horse if it's born in a stable.
Yeah.
And
Exactly, man.
Jesus, well, you got the other guy, what's his name? What's his name? They got his nose broken. That fought that British guy, Stu. He just fought recently. He's with Valdez. He's the other way around. He's
Oh,
actually
you're on about Scott
Oh
Quinn.
yeah.
no, yeah, Valdez. Yes, he's a Mexican, but he was raised in the United States.
Yeah.
but he doesn't get that much support from the
Yeah, like
Mexicans. It's
about
kind of
20,
half-assed.
yeah, like about 40 million other Mexicans. Look,
Exactly.
like I just said, a dog is not a horse if it's born in a stable. They're Mexicans, man.
Hey Gonzalo, did you try? Did you watch those ESPN Spanish shows, boxing shows, and they always have like Valdez in there, like they're trying to give him some popularity.
Yeah, he's
over
not
there?
that fluent.
No,
He's not that fluent.
no. But what I'm saying is they're trying to make him like a big thing in Mexico, but it's just not picking up.
It's not picking up exactly, and he's from a cradle of boxing from the state
What about
of
Ryan
Sonora.
Garcia? What about Ryan Garcia? Is he a big name in Mexico?
He's
don't
not
think so.
Mexican though. I kind of disagree a little bit with you there, Stu.
Well, his fucking name tells me otherwise.
Garcia,
No,
but he don't speak it.
he doesn't speak any
Maybe
Spanish.
he's gaining a little traction because he's with Reynoso, a Mexican trainer, and he's got the
Well-
female fan base,
Yeah,
and he's
come on,
excited.
gay.
But yeah,
Gonzalo,
I don't think a
Gonzalo.
lot of people
Homosexuals.
relate to him.
Gonzalo, he's as much Mexican as you are. You live in the Philippines, bro.
Yeah, but all my life I lived in Tijuana, and I kind of know how they
Yeah,
think.
but look.
No,
Like I said-
hang on, Stu, hang on. No, Gonzalo's a legitimate Mexican. Ryan's a little white boy from fucking California. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah. Believe
he's
it or not,
quite-
there are white Mexicans though.
Nowadays, the Mexican American is more considered in the Mexican
Okay.
circle.
Yeah.
Before
Like
it wasn't
I said,
like that.
I'm being educated here. You know, I just thought a Mexican's a fucking Mexican, but maybe not.
Now,
Well, he
now
wasn't
all of
born
them,
in
You know, they're
Mexico.
coming like freaking what's that guy that fought Tevin Farmer? JoJo. They're fucking coming out with the Mexican flag wrapped around their their shoulders, fucking being all fucking patriotic. But it's all really because they want to get that angle to get the
Yeah.
Mexican
Of course
fan
it
base
is,
to
mate.
support them.
Yeah, they're playing it.
The Mexicans would buy pay-per-view to watch two insects fight. So it's a market. It's a market that's is where you'd go. I mean, let's be real. The American market's tough as it gets. So I understand why they would go with the Mexican roots. Look at Andy Ruiz. He's like an American Mexican, but he was
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, no, that's a good one because you asked about that. Andy Ruiz was pretty popular in Mexico, but just because he was a heavyweight, though.
Because he's from Mexicali, from a border town, and he fought for the Olympics for Mexico.
Oh, so you have
Not the Olympic team, not the Olympics. He didn't make it Olympic, but in the Olympic team, he was part of that.
Kevin from Chicago says you guys should watch Montero's video on race, nationality, and ethnicity. All right.
Yeah, I think I think they will get behind a guy like Virgil Ortiz more than like a Ryan Garcia.
Yeah,
But
of
Ryan
course.
Garcia is kind of an interesting character. I can't really speak too negatively about him yet, but I think
You know
Virgil
why that
Ortiz.
is? You know why that is, Gonzalo? And you know as well. That's because Virgil Ortiz carries himself like a Mexican. He doesn't carry himself like some fucking little homo fruitcake
Spot
bitch. Like Ryan.
That's a good point, though.
Spot
Very
on.
good
Listen,
point.
spot on.
Hang on,
Mexicans,
didn't Lopez fight for the
listen,
Mexican boxing team?
Mexicans are a fighting nation, right? They don't like these little fucking
They don't
these
like
little beta boys that fucking dressing up like girls, sitting
They
there
don't like these
posing with a
little.
mascara.
They don't like these little fucking fruitcakes, bro. They like fucking, and even Oscar Valdez. Now he might not be no pound for pound great fighter, but every time he fights, it's entertaining. It's fun to watch. It's always a brawl. I mean, that makes me like him.
Look, they didn't like De La Hoya because
Lopez.
they didn't like De La Hoya because he was too feminine. I mean, so they're not going to like Ryan Garcia, right? Just how it
Yeah,
is.
bit of maricon, yeah.
Well,
They did like De La Hoya. De La Hoya is bilingual and he's from Los Angeles.
Well,
but anyways,
but I remember the Mexicans were certainly not on De La Hoya's side when he fought Chavez.
well,
that's for sure.
that's Chavez though. That's
It don't matter.
Chavez.
It don't matter. Now listen, you stick with your boy no matter who he fights. You don't just pick and choose when you can be with your boy. That's loyalty, mate.
But that was a passing of the torch, and he actually got the torch. So it was like a crossroads for the
Yeah,
two.
so
the two
because he
guys.
won, you went. Because he won, you went over to him.
What do you
No,
mean?
Mexican. Yeah, that's a
What
good
my point is, you back a guy from the start, right? You know, whether he wins or loses, you back him. You can't just be on
Yeah,
someone's
but you're
nut.
gonna certainly get two
But
cases where
Stu,
two guys that are just alike are gonna fight. Two
but
guys
what
that
you
are from England fighting. You're gonna get those scenarios where you're gonna
Yeah,
get
but
two
what I'm
greats
saying is,
fighting.
yeah, but
well,
no one wanted
yeah,
De La Hoya to win that fight. No
to
Mexican.
be
Oh,
Oh
not
man,
maybe not in
No,
that
no
fight, but
Mexican
after
wanted
that,
that fight. No.
because that was Chavez.
of course, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, you can't just. It's like Don King when fucking Joe McClellan was like in a coma in the corner. Don King sitting there fucking sucking at the Nigel Benn. I mean,
But during that time, I remember that I used to start cutting my hair like fucking De La Hoya, and I kind of used to think of myself like De La Hoya unconsciously. I was like a big Chavez fan, whatever.
I
But
hope
yeah,
you don't wear the same. I hope you don't wear the same underwear.
The fishnet.
The fucking, nah, I ain't changing it that much. But back in the day,
Look,
he
the
certainly
thing with
had
De
an
La Hoya,
impact
right?
on me.
Say we like about De La Hoya, right? He's been in there with the best. He took some monster shots. He still looked like a pretty boy. He looked like he'd never been hit in his life. And that's one thing I will say about De La Hoya. Just show you, I'm a very tough guy. All right, he was a pretty boy, but he had a fucking granite chin on him. He was tough as they get.
He was fast,
No.
man. He was pretty
6
good,
degree
man.
champion, man.
I think a lot of these kids that are watching boxing now, like they only remember the old De La Hoya, the one that was getting beat up and shit. But good look at his fights at 140, 147 when he was in his prime. He was crazy. He was explosive. He was fast. He was one of the fastest welterweights I've ever seen, man.
He was
So
fast. He had heart too, like Cotto. Could get off the canvas, fight
yeah,
back.
look at that
All
Cortez
those
fight.
guys trained
Oh,
that.
hey, De La Hoya. De La Hoya was the cash cow for a reason. Very exciting, very talented fighter. Good look. Had the works. Everything you need to be a big name.
Yeah.
But
Right.
when you look at De La Hoya's career, most of the big fights he was in, he just comes short, bro. It is Mosley, fucking Mayweather. The list just goes on. The big fights, Trinidad. You know what I mean?
Bernard Hopkins.
Well, yeah. Hang on. To me, I thought that second Mosley fight was a complete robbery, but I thought he beat Tito too. I wish we would have got him and Trinidad a rematch, bro, because that would have cleared that whole fucking thing up.
Yeah, but like I said, always came short. The big fights.
I think he lost to Whitaker personally.
Huh?
When
Some
De La
people
Hoya
say
fought
that,
Whittaker.
and the Corte fight too. I thought he won the Corte fight. I thought he beat Whitaker too, but people have different opinions.
Transnational Incorporated says in the chat, I've mentioned this before. I was in Mexico in a club watching Trinidad against Oscar De La Hoya, and only the women were cheering for him. Guys had Trinidad. So I guess Mexicans didn't like it.
That's
Remember when he
before
fought Vargas?
It's the same I think it's the same with Canelo though. Canelo's really he's the poster boy for Mexican girls. Really, I mean.
That's my Puerto Rican cousins, my two girl cousins that they're older than me. They're like fucking 6, 7 years older than me apiece. I remember when I was a kid, they had fucking De La Hoya pictures on their wall and shit like that. That's why my uncle fucking hated him. He was wanted Tito to rip his head off.
Johnny, why do you sound like
That's
Vito
interesting.
Corleone all of a sudden? What's going on, man?
He lost his voice.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I lost my voice because I was screaming. I was screaming at the fucking camera when Povetkin knocked him out the other night. And
I lost my voice when Pacquiao fucking Thurman fought.
Jesus
I can
Christ,
relate,
Johnny,
bro.
man.
Yeah, Johnny Boy turned into fucking Don Corleone. What's
Yeah,
going
that's
on?
what I'm saying, guys.
This is the business we chose.
I got my fucking whole throat sore and everything else. They sound like that old guy in Casino. Fucking.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Luca Brazzi to come online.
Yeah, I'm a real horse.
A perfect example was when fucking De La Hoya fought Vargas. Vargas was more like he could relate to the Cholos, to the
Yeah.
Hispanics, that type of crowd, the tough guys. I don't know, quote unquote. Yeah, and De La Hoya.
Hey,
to
the only time the Mexicans got behind fucking De La Hoya is when he fought Floyd and Mosley and them sort of guys. But let's be real, when it was against a proper Mexican, he was always the fucking guy they didn't want. Look, it is what it is.
Somebody in the chat said that actually some Mexicans who lived in fuck, who was it? Where was mostly from? In California?
From Pomona, California.
Pomona, yeah. See, this guy said that the Mexicans from Pomona, California, were supporting Mosley instead of De La Hoya. So
Yeah.
Wow.
I've seen him in person. I didn't tell you that, Mucho.
No.
I've seen
I
him.
told
He's skinny.
you, man. I told you. I might be from the UK. I've been watching Mexican boxers since I can remember. And I always remember De La Hoya was a big name in the States. The Americans loved it, but the Mexicans did. And that's a fact.
That's right. Hey, Gonzalo, your mic is making a lot of noise, man. I don't know what you're doing. I think
Oh,
you're.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah. Stu knows about boxing. He's watching boxing for a long time, so I take his word for it.
Yeah, he's been around. How old are you, Stu? Same age as I am? 40s?
He doesn't want to say. He claims he's 30 years old or something.
Hey, I'll
Right.
just put it this way: I've got a Cuban passport.
A what?
I've got a Cuban passport, so if I say I'm 50, I'm really 40. If I
No,
say I'm 40,
exactly.
I'm really
all
40.
right, I get it.
Now, let's be real. I'm 40. I'm 42 years old now. You know,
me too.
I've actually got a grandson. You know what I mean? So I'm coming to the latter years of my life. But don't ever fucking write me off. I'll still take your girl off you. So don't worry about that.
There you have it.
But yeah,
Watch out.
but yeah, I've been watching boxing for a long time, and like I said, I remember De La Hoya. He was a big name in America, and they loved him. But the Mexicans never really took to the guy, and I don't know why, but they did. And it was the same with.
Because they thought he was kind of like a goody two shoes. You know what I'm saying? Better than
because
everybody else.
Goody two.
Mexicans, I don't think they take to pretty boys. I just don't think they do. I mean, it's like Ryan Garcia. He'll never be a name in Mexico. Do you think you take him to Mexico sitting there looking like a girl with the mascara on? He'll get beheaded over there. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it's still.
I mean,
Yeah.
they like they're warriors, man. And they're seeing through like manufactured fighters. I'm not saying De La Hoya was, by the way, but Ryan Garcia is manufactured.
It's
The guy's like a.
What about Lopez?
It seems
like-
Lopez, very
Like
well known
that
outside
nowadays.
America.
Go ahead, sure.
Lopez, is he very well liked in his native home country? Tiafimo.
El Salvador's not a big country. And
Yeah,
they're
I
all
mean,
like fucking Mara Salvatruchas. They're gang members or 18th Street.
Yeah,
Talking about
it's like saying, was Roberto Duran popular in Panama? Of course he was. You know.
fucking MS-13. Who's MS-13?
I am.
Oh,
Yo, Apology, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's
Just
up? It's
listening
been a
to the
long time, man.
conversation. Yeah, just been working 60.
No shit.
Hey, what's up, Apology?
Yeah. Speak a little bit louder.
You must be pretty swole now, no? Lifting all them
Yeah,
weights, like what has been 2
I'm
years? You
getting
probably
there.
look like Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, but I'm getting up to there. Getting up in the weight.
Then you got that crazy voice. Man,
Yeah.
your voice is like so interesting, dude. Gotta give you props, man.
She's become a commentator.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. I don't even like my own voice, but
I bet Apology. I
I
bet.
Yeah.
Apology's got that voice that when he whispers in girls' ears, they've fucking got their knickers off before he's even fucking finished the sentence.
He's like the Allstate guy. The commercial, the insurance guy.
Are you in good hands?
He does the fucking theme song for the BDA, man.
You know that guy was the getaway driver on Heat with De Niro on them?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It's the same guy, bro.
The
dude who was
Allstate dude? The guy that you're in good hands?
the dude who just got out of prison. He was like the cook at that shitty restaurant.
And he's like,
and then
fuck it.
Daryl comes to you. He's like, "Yo, I got a job for you. You want it?" And he's like, "Fuck this."
He gets
So
shot like 50 times.
Yeah.
what was his, I was reading a comment here that said that Lennox Lewis dogged Chris Bird. I don't think Lennox Lewis dogged Chris Bird, man. And even if he did, like,
Yeah. Toby never joke.
Chris Bird, I mean, oh god, he was boring as fuck, man. Now you gotta give him credit; he was pretty small.
To be honest with you, I'd rather watch Lennox Lewis fight Big Bird from fucking Sesame Street. To be honest with you,
Chris Bird,
Man, he was
should've-
supposed to come on the show, but I don't know what happened. All of a sudden,
I'm not gonna say Chris Bird, but look, to say that Lennox Lewis ducked a man like that when he's fought the guys he has, I mean, it's just a ridiculous statement. I mean, Lennox Lewis fought Vitaly Klitschko with 2 weeks' notice. You think he's scared of Chris Bird?
I mean,
scared of what?
It's hard if you think. Well, go ahead.
I tell you which fight I wish would have happened: Mike Tyson versus David Tua.
Yeah, that would have been a good fight.
If
Aikibi
you think about
Abuchi.
it,
Go ahead. Apology. Go ahead.
a boxer's career, like they're not going to fight every single person. They can't. Like even Manny Pacquiao couldn't fight every single person, even though he went through the division. Like he didn't fight like Nate Campbell, for example. So in every fight, you're going to find them. Their resume is someone they didn't fought. That doesn't necessarily mean they ducked that particular fight.
Yeah,
it just didn't pan out. Like I'm pretty sure Lewis would have fought Chris Bird, but he just didn't.
Yeah,
It's not the 50s. It's not the 50s anymore. Where you can fight
beat the living shit out of
Lennox ducked Chris Bird. Yeah, okay, pal.
Hey, we have a phone call, guys. Let's take it. 954. You're on the air. 954.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jay. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Jay? What's on your mind?
I just want to clarify the way I remember it through the magazines I used to have in the articles. Both John Ruiz and Chris Bird, neither one who would have beaten Lennox Lewis for the record, both earned their shots to be number one contender, and Lennox Lewis gave up both belts, one for John Ruiz, and two, he sold the IBF to Don King for $1 million and an SUV, so he wouldn't, because he didn't want to fight Chris Bird. Now, I'm not going to say duck, but I don't think it was in his interest at that stage of his career to take that fight.
Oh yeah, of course.
But that's the way that went down.
That's true. The IBF, I remember. You're right. He dropped it. Yeah. That's how he got it. That's how.
Well, technically, he sold it because he gave it up for $1 million in an SUV. So
I don't blame him, mate. He got 990,000 more than he should have got. So look, is what it is. I mean, the IBF title. So what? Lennox Lewis doesn't need to fight for titles when he's achieved what he has. That guy's fought everyone, anyone. One of the greats. I mean, Chris Bird. Are we really going to knock a man's
on the fairness,
legendary career
on
for
Chris
Chris
Bird?
Really?
On the fairness on both sides, Chris Bird and John Ruiz earned those shots as bad as they were and as great as they were not. They went through a lot, especially John Ruiz after losing to Tua. All the people he had to go through to get that number one ranking. Wasn't like he just signed with Don King and Don King fixed the rankings. He beat fellow prospect Jimmy Thunder, who may not have been much, but he was a fellow ranked fighter. Most of the other guys weren't doing this.
Could beat Roy Jones
and these guys earned their shots to where they got where they were, and Lennox didn't give them a shot. They weren't gold medalists that were handed a belt out of a trash can. They earned their shots, and Lennox didn't give it to them. That's just the fair way to say it. That's not to detract, even though I'm putting this partially, what Lennox did as a champion, but they earned their shots, and he wouldn't give it to them. That's the truth. Regardless of how many wants to look at it.
Yeah, a bit like Dillian Whyte then. Look, it is what
Did Dillian Whyte just get knocked out?
No, you earn the right to pick your opponents in boxing. You have to earn the right. Lennox did that. He fought Vitaly Klitschko in his last fight with 2 weeks' notice, right, out of shape, and pulled off the stoppage win.
If you look at
What do
Lewis's
you
resume, somebody mentioned Carlos Mendoza, but that's a good resume on the TV, what Carlos Mendoza said.
I didn't hear that.
So if you got Carlos Mendoza, the YouTube user, he's mentioned Lennox Lewis' resume is brilliant. Looking on the TV right now.
Excellent.
Oh,
I mean, he fought young.
I'm pointing out the fact that those were two guys that earned their shot, and he didn't give them a title shot. That's you can try and rearrange it however you want to.
Hey, look, I don't need to rearrange it because he'd have knocked the fuck out of the both of them. So
but
it doesn't really
True,
matter to
but
me.
they earned their
mean,
shot.
when
They earned their shot.
Who in
hold
name
on.
one person that's ever having sleepless nights because Lennox didn't fight Chris Bird. Good luck with that one. You're never going to find him. No one cared about Chris Bird.
Okay, hold on. But when did Chris Bird win his IBF belt?
Was that 06 maybe? No, he lost to Vitaly. He lost to Vladimir 06. So it was. And Lennox Lewis fought Vitaly in 03. So I'd probably say 04 or 05.
Okay, no. Okay, wait a minute. I'm confused here. When did Lennox Lewis dock? Well, technically, let's go. When he dock Chris Bird, was it like a year before Lennox Lewis retired? Because maybe Lennox Lewis didn't have time to fight Chris Bird, right? And he fought Vitaly before.
That's a fair
retiring?
statement. But my call wasn't to belittle Lennox Lewis, even though I came across harshly. I did that basically to stand my ground on the fact that these two guys earned their title shot. But you do have a point that it very well could have been so far at the end of his career that he didn't feel like messing with that, and he wanted to try and get the bigger paydays while he could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, it's like this, right? When you've been dating pretty girls all your life, you're not going to settle for a fucking ugly bitch, are you? And that's what it is with boxing. You get to a certain level.
Unless you're
you get to a certain level, and you're just not up for these challenges when you're fighting these sort of guys. You know, when you're used to getting up for a man like Mike Tyson, Holyfield, and all these big, even like fucking Tucker, Mercer, Bruno, fucking Morrison, Briggs, fucking.
Well, you opened the door for this one.
Razor Rudder.
You opened the door for this one because
fought everyone. So getting up for Chris Bird, I don't blame him. I wouldn't get up for that either.
Well, look at the two times he didn't get up for a fight. Look what happened.
Yeah, and he didn't get up for that fight, but he put it right in the second one.
Well, it happened twice.
Yeah, well, go and ask Cassie Ratman how the second fight went.
All right, hold on. So Lennox Lewis, from what people are telling me in the chat, Lennox Lewis dropped that IBF belt in 2002, and then who did he fight? He fought Mike Tyson in 2002, and then Vitaly Klitschko. So he fought Mike Tyson. Everybody wanted to see that fight, right? Nobody wanted to see Lennox Lewis against Chris Bird. And then Vitaly, and then he retired. So he didn't have time to give Chris Bird his title shot. But then again, why would he give him a title shot when he had already accomplished everything that he did? So what I'm saying is, yes, Chris Bird deserved the fight, but at the same time, Lennox Lewis was already on the way out. And so it just happened, he didn't have time to give him a shot. That's what I think.
The Tyson fight was in 2002.
I don't think he would give him a shot anyway, but not because he would have been worried about losing, just because, like you guys have pointed out, there was no interest in it for him. There was no big enough reward, I guess, for him, so he didn't give it to him. He just vacated the belt and moved on.
Right, and there wasn't only Chris Bird. I'm pretty sure there was other challengers to the other belts, right? Number one contender.
This guy was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Do you think he didn't have people that were gunning for him? He had so many options.
He was the franchise champion. He had the franchise title.
There wasn't. Back in those days, there weren't any fucking franchise piece of shit belts.
That was 2002. Tyson, man. Fucking time flies, man. Fuck, man. Life is going by. We're going to hell pretty soon.
We're already in hell.
Yeah, we better get some good fights, man, before we fucking die, man. I'm tired of these boxers just taking layoffs and not fighting who they should be fighting. We're all gonna die soon, so give us some good fights.
Hey, Stu, I was gonna ask you something.
Why they're not fighting?
Go ahead, ask me. Who's that? Gonzalo?
Yeah, for you guys, remember when you're speaking about De La Hoya, how like the Mexicans didn't fully accept him? Since we're speaking about Lewis, and Lewis had like multiple nationalities, or what's his story? Did he ever take to the British like totally?
Look,
or was he divided too?
I'm going to be honest. It was like 70-30 against him. He had the hardcore boxing fans appreciated him, like me. I love Lennox Lewis because I appreciate world-class fighters. When everyone was like, Bruno's useless, man. Come on, man. Bruno was useless. He really was. I mean, Lennox Lewis as well. And I got behind him, but the British public didn't really. I know, I'd say they didn't. and that's because the guy was fucking. The guy was carrying different flags every fight, wasn't he? He's a multinationalist world champion. You know, that don't buy with anyone. You got pick a fucking nation and stick with it.
Hey,
What
Stu,
was it? Canada,
isn't it?
Jamaica,
Hey.
United States, Britain.
I don't know if Stu's gonna get pissed off by this comment, but Nordic Warrior in the chat says Povetkin would beat Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
What
I'd
planet?
love
Okay,
to.
I wanna
I'd
go
love
that route.
to.
It would be a good fight. That would be a
I
good
take
fight.
it. I take it. Nordic Warrior has just got back from Colombia.
Well, the thing with
That would actually
Povetkin
be a
is he
good
All
lost.
right.
He lost to 2 super heavyweights. He lost to Vladimir Klitschko and he lost to AJ, which are super heavyweights. Now, anybody else, he's been competitive. So I don't think he would do very well against a master because Lennox
I
Lewis
think
is a
he
super
will.
heavyweight too.
I think he
You think
will
so?
do very good against Lennox Lewis if it's officiated properly as well. If the official and the referee does his job, it will be a very good back and forth fight. The problem is like Povetkin too small, man. Like, that's
I don't know. I
everything
saw
I'm
that fight
worried
against
about.
Klitschko. I don't know
He's
what
too
the fuck
small.
happened there, man. I mean,
It's because
the referee was
future,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's a good point. It's a good point. The referee has to be.
And Lewis,
I'll tell you what would be a
Lewis
great
just
fight.
comes from the
A
crunk.
prime
He
Lennox
comes
Lewis
from the
versus
crunk.
Tyson Fury.
Go ahead.
What?
So all I was saying is it would be a great fight. Lennox Lewis prime versus Tyson Fury prime.
Yeah, that would
I
be a
think
great fight.
Lewis from anyone from this era will be a good fight.
Hey, what does
Klitschko, etc.
Yes. Go ahead.
Right.
What were you saying?
I don't know. Hey, guys, come on. I think Jay's still there. Jay, anything else?
No, that's it for now. If it's kind of slow in another subject, because I might call back. But thanks for taking my call. Sorry I didn't get involved in this one. I just got back from vacation, so I didn't pick up on the fact that the show was going to be on Discord. So I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, man. Send us a message on Discord. All right, take care.
Yeah, no worries. All right, bye.
All right.
Later.
So yeah, now we're into Lennox Lewis territory over here. It's gonna get
Yeah.
very
Let's
controversial.
go off the Lewis topic. Back to the heavyweight division of today.
Right. Do you want to talk about Dylan Whyte?
Let's talk about the slickness of Kubrat Pulev. I don't know what we're going to talk.
Yeah, he's gonna
What's
get
the
knocked
next
out.
heavyweight? What's the next heavyweight fight coming up?
Joyce versus
Oh,
freaking
Dubois.
Triple D.
Dubois.
in October apparently.
That's a good fight. A really good fight.
That's a really good fight. People are sleeping on
Hey,
Joyce,
hey
man.
Stu, who
Like
Yeah.
he's gonna give
Stu, who you got at
problems
Joyce
to
Dubois?
Dubois.
That's
Huh?
right.
So I
I
go,
said,
bro.
Stu, who do you have at Joyce and Dubois?
I agree with what Apologies said. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Joyce. The bar looks like a monster. He does. And in the early rounds, Joyce is going to be getting hit with a lot of shots. But Joyce is like an experienced guy. I think if he can ride the storm and take it to the latter rounds, Dubai is going to blow. He's going to start blowing. He's going to start running out of ideas. And I think where Joyce just his constant work rate could be a real problem for Dubai. You know, it's whether Dubai can get Joyce out there earlier. I've never seen Joyce in that sort of trouble where he looks like he could get hurt or knocked out. So, you know, every fight can get knocked out. I know that, but I've not seen it from Joyce yet where I think Dubai could do that. You know, let's not forget it. All right, Dubai looks good, but the guy could stop Kevin Boom Boom Johnson for fuck's sake. You know, so you've got to keep it real. I mean, Joyce is for me, an Olympic gold medalist because he got robbed in the Olympics. I don't care what anyone says. So he's got something about him, isn't he?
Man,
All right, he blocks punches with his face.
It annoyed me that he lost that French geezer. I mean, that really annoyed me.
Yeah,
He lost
but
that French, and that French guy actually tested positive for drugs after something, wasn't he?
Look, mate, he won that fight with the drugs on, without the drugs. Look, it was robbery, but I think a lot of people they look at Joyce. He's just ugly on the eye. Let's just say that. But I think Joyce has got that little Carl Froch about him where he's not.
But
he's not
you know what?
pretty to
We
look
just want to talk about.
You're right. He brings something to the table that these other guys don't bring. I think he's got a real good chin, and it's a rarity to say that on the heavyweight division.
Yeah. Like I said, experience as well. Experience. He's fought all. When you fight that many fights in the amateurs, it means you've come across all styles. So, and this guy's. I mean, let's be real. He's not getting turned over that often, is he? So he's doing something right. I think he just overwhelms you, and the shots he's throwing, just he like snatches your heart from you. I think a lot of these fights. That's what he's doing. And I think Dubar. Yeah, that's something he should worry about because I think Dubar is going to look very good early on, and he's going to be winning the fight. It's just whether Joyce can ride the storm and then start coming into the fight. And if he does that, then I'm picking Joe Joyce.
So what do you think? Winner, what will be the next step for the winner of this fight then?
Look, it's one of them where I wouldn't get too excited, you know. Going from Joe Joyce to Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua is a massive leap, you know. I think if the winner of this fight, you know, maybe fight someone like Dillian Whyte or someone like that, you know, or Povetkin even. That'd be a good walk. Imagine Dubar Povetkin. That'd be good fights. So that's the level I'd go. You got to make these. You know, there's no point making these fighters run before they can walk.
Maybe Chisora even.
Huh?
I said maybe even fighting Del Boy.
Yeah, even Del Boy. It's not going to mean a lot though if he wins it, is it? But
all those guys, aside from maybe the top three, and maybe you could even take Wilder out of there, and I'd replace him with maybe Andy Ruiz. Everybody else beneath that is a level down. Even Luis Ortiz would be ready for Dubois. But you're right. You know, he's young. He's 24. He's got 1 or 2 levels to climb. So I wouldn't put him up there against Tyson Fury. But yeah, all the other guys, they're beatable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because if you speak Fury, then you speak what's the other guy? Wilder. Then who's left? Whyte's out of the picture, right?
Yeah.
Whyte's definitely looked vulnerable. That you know, you can kind of see a blueprint. He got exposed in some ways.
The way that fucking the WBC have tracked Dillian Whyte, he's probably below David Price at the rankings.
David Price is gonna get a title shot.
I don't. As Joseph Parker, he's never been knocked down, has he? Joseph Parker.
He's got a tough chin. Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte knocked him down with a big left hook.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And he didn't look too comfortable in there for both guys, Anthony Joshua or Parker. That was a boring fight, but you know they were kind of hesitant to trade.
When does he ever look comfortable?
That's right. So he might have a good chin, but why is he so confident? Sometimes
boxing doesn't come natural. Dillian Whyte, it's all just a struggle to him. It looks tiring just watching him throw punches, doesn't it?
He's like a doorman, a glorified doorman.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking some of these LDPC channels. It says you are a bomb, and they show
tell us some comedy.
It says you are a bomb, and they show a picture of Dillian Whyte on the canvas. So there you have it. He's a bomb.
Hopefully he's next to the picture of Wilder.
Yeah, Whyte has a better record than Deontay Wilder. So what's the deal here?
I am wondering. Do you remember that laugh that I told you? Look at the video where Dillian Whyte was laughing at Wilder. I wonder if it's a retaliation to that.
Yeah.
If he was a bum, how come fucking Wilder didn't? I'm not saying he's the greatest fighter or that he isn't a bum, but I'm not going to call him a bum. But if he was, why didn't he fight him a year ago? Because they weren't too comfortable taking the fight, right?
No.
Dillian Whyte did something Deontay Wilder did, and that was fight Povetkin.
Same with Andy Ruiz. All the accomplishments that Ruiz and fucking Povetkin got, they try to blame they try to take credit for that. Wilder. Because they've been hating on Joshua and they've been hating on Whyte.
That's what I said. I said when Ruiz beat AJ, it sounded like it was Wilder who beat AJ. It was weird. That's the, yeah.
It's
That's
like
how
holy
they
shit,
were
they got him on his
celebrating.
resume now.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden, you can add AJ to Walter's records. It was weird, man.
Fucking true, man. So fucking true. And when people they're riding with this shit.
It's the hate. The
I
hate
re-
is real.
I reckon Andy Ruiz would probably beat Wilder. I reckon.
Maybe. Listen, a lot of these
Maybe.
fighters are gonna approach Wilder in a different manner now, in a different because they saw what happened and they think, you know what, maybe I can do the same thing that Fury did, because I believe that a lot of fighters, I believe a lot of fighters.
But I think what Stu says it best. I think when he said just because Tyson Fury can do it doesn't mean other people can do it.
Of course. I mean, we saw. Listen, Dominic Brazil can do whatever he wants. He's not gonna pull off whatever fucking Tyson Fury did. But I'm talking about mid-level fighters. They're gonna come in with more confidence. A lot of these fighters who fought Wilder, they came in already scared, or thinking, "Oh my god, he's gonna land that right hand." For example, Dylan Whyte.
Tyson,
go ahead.
Tyson Fury took the invincibility out of Deontay Wilder.
Yes,
but the thing is, like Ken just said, there's not a lot of fighters in the heavyweight division that have the skills of Tyson Fury that can pull that off.
True, but there's people that I mean, I look at Gerald Washington. He was winning that fight. Now, did he have the skills of Tyson Fury? No. Could he have done a little bit more? Yes. But he was also very, very concerned about the right hand. And when you start thinking of, the right hand, you lose sight of what you have to do. Because you're thinking more about what Wilder has to do.
You do your own thing. My advice to any fight would be, worry what you've got to do. And let the rest fall in place, sort of thing. At the end of the day, if you keep going there and worry about what your opponent's going to do, you forget what you're good at. And that's when you do get beat. Look, there's certain times you go in the boxing ring and you're just not good enough at the end of the day. No matter what you do in the camp, no matter who you have as your trainer, you can work the hardest that you've ever worked before. You're just not good enough. And that's just it. There's levels to this game.
You mentioned Gerald Washington. I'm just amazed. I mean, this guy was a football player.
Yes.
Gerald Baby Miller, a kickboxer. Then you brought up another name. Look, fucking, I don't know who you brought up, but he was also, okay. Fucking Dillian Whyte. Coming to find out, he's only been boxing for 12 years. He used to be a kickboxer too. Fucking Wilder has only been fighting since he was like fucking 28. Maybe not younger, but he was a late starter too.
22.
I'm just amazed at that.
He went to Olympics
how shitty
and lost, I think, isn't it, Wilder?
What's that?
What year was Wilder in the Olympics when he got bronze?
Well, he made his debut. He's been fighting for 11 years as a professional.
Wasn't it 08? Wasn't it 08?
7 or 11 years.
08, Beijing Olympics.
It must have been Beijing.
Yeah, 2008.
David Price won a bronze medal. What does that mean? I said you get a bronze for losing in boxing.
No, when it comes to heavyweight,
but
it's
you get
kind of
bronze.
weird.
No, you get a bronze for losing in boxing.
Yeah.
You get bronze for losing.
And when it comes to the heavyweight,
he was 20
division,
also. He was like 20 when he started.
But
man?
But then you got fighters like Povetkin that have been fighting ever since they were, adolescents. Maybe since they were like in their fucking 6 or 7 years old. Since they were born. This could be expected, right?
Right. Can I just say something about Wilder and that medal that he won? Well, won, right? The bronze. I don't know if you can win bronze, but when it comes to the heavyweight division, a lot of these amateur fights, you can win them just by sheer size, because it's a point system. It's a weird, the rules for scoring those fights are weird. So I can see Wilder with his shitty style, just keeping his distance and landing some fucking punches. I'm not impressed with that.
If Harrison can do it, Deontay can.
Well, exactly.
He was knocking a lot of amateurs out.
Well, and he was knocked out in the amateurs. So there you have it, man. Fuck these people who come in here and tell me that Wilder's you're saying he doesn't have any boxing skills? How did he win a medal? I'm like, come on, man. This isn't the welterweight division in the fucking Olympics. It's for heavyweight, man. He was tall as fuck. People dropped out, apparently. That's what, come on, man. No,
Terrible.
doesn't apply.
He also came third place. Like, it's not like he's a gold medalist.
And he's not a
Like
gold medalist.
Lomachenko. Yeah, Lomachenko's a multi-time gold medalist. And Wilder just won one medal.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily like the greatest. It's not like the 1984 team with fucking all those great fighters, Mark Breland, Terrell Biggs, Holyfield, fucking all those guys. The United States is not at that level as it used to be in the amateur program.
When was the last time they won an Olympic gold medal?
Because they haven't adapted. If you look at the
Clarissa
East
Shield.
European style, oh god. If you look at, they haven't adapted. They stayed in their old style from like the 80s. If you look at the Eastern European style, they're evolving. They bringing new techniques.
Yeah,
But the American styles
style,
are staying the same.
the American style is professional. It's made for professional boxing. You're not gonna win the amateurs fighting like that. Just you got to have work rate. Let's be real. You got to be busy. And a lot of the American fighters are not. They're counter punches, waiting for the right opportunity and stuff like that. Back in the '84 team, you're talking about world class fighters that had it all. It's a different breed altogether than the team that Deontay Wilder was in.
Yeah.
I think the Yanks had like 6 gold medals, didn't they, on the 84?
Yeah, a whole bunch. Meldrick Taylor, Terrell Biggs, fucking Pernell Whitaker, Evander Holyfield. Yeah. What's that other big guy that threw the belt in the trash can?
Riddick Bowie?
Big Daddy Bo. Riddick Bo.
Okay. He was in that team, right? Wasn't he?
I think so. The 84 team was crazy, the 88. And then after that, the 92 team, you had the Lauya and you had that silver medalist.
Was Evander Holyfield a gold medalist?
You're talking about Michael Carbajal?
I think he was he?
Michael Carbajal, Bucho, Little Hands of Stone.
No.
He won a silver medal.
No, the guy.
I'm sure he won a silver medal.
He's a commentator now. Medal. He's a commentator. He fought Mosley when he was older and well. Come on, Gonzalo.
Sergio Mora?
Let me look it up. He fought Mosley.
Winky Wright? Winky Wright?
I'm sure fucking Michael.
He's a Mexican American guy.
Mexican American. He fought Mosley.
Yeah.
What is this TKO trivia now?
I know.
Raul
Marquez. He won silver, I think.
I thought fucking Carbajal won a medal too, the flyweight.
That I'm not sure. Yeah, this is trivia TKO now. We gotta do another trivia TKO. Fuck. So much shit to do, man. Too many things.
Yes, coming back slowly though. That's a good thing, man.
Nordic Warrior, you know you're boxing. You wanna jump into do some trivia TKO? It's like a trivia question show, obviously. Hey, John Gonzalez. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for your contribution. He says to all the panel, enjoy learning from you guys. So he's learning from us. You're learning a lot of shit. No, I'm joking.
Hey, Bujo, what's happened to Recognize?
I don't know, man. People keep asking me about Recognize. Listen, I don't know,
He's
man.
Ghost. He's gone. He's a ghost, man.
He's trapped in an elevator. That's what Gonzalez said. No, I don't know, man. I hope maybe it's summertime, so he's enjoying himself. You know, maybe he needed to take a little break, like some of us did. Stu took a little break. You know, there wasn't a lot of boxing anyway, so what do you guys want? You know, we can't just, start live streams and just talk about nothing. And you can only talk about the past for so much, for so long. Then it gets tired.
Yeah. Unless Recognize is on, because he's an interesting dude.
I love Recognize.
Yeah. He has some crazy stories about his escapades.
All right. Well, I'm getting fucking hungry here. Stu, you want to continue the show or should I end it?
Call it a fucking day. I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Stu, for being on the show, obviously. He was the host, basically. I want to thank everybody in the chat. White Devil, thank you for your contribution. That's that Ace Ventura picture there. All right, guys. Listen, we'll see you next time. Take care.
Stay safe, everybody.
Where's the fucking song? Where's the fucking song? You can't end the show without the fucking song here, the theme song. So we're gonna go for it. There we go.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm
Take
disappointed
care,
in
guys.
every
We'll see
one
you
of
next
you.
time.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool.
Hit the like button.
I'm sorry.
Hit the like.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing.
Lomito!
You got nothing.
I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.